A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Kroger Tender Ray Beef, no other beef so fresh can be so tender, presents Hearts in Harmony transcribed. Kroger Tender Ray Beef. It's delicious. Why, ladies, Kroger Tender Ray Beef just couldn't be anything else but delicious. And here's why. Kroger Tender Ray is the one beef that's always fresh, always tender. Yes, ma'am, always fresh, always tender. You know it's tender because by the original Kroger Tender Ray method, the top U.S. government grades of beef are made naturally tender without aging. You know it's always fresh because by the Kroger Tender Ray method, there's no need for wasteful aging, no time for loss of juice. It's luscious red. It's rich in savory juices. It's marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. No other beef so fresh can be so tender. Yet Kroger Tender Ray beef costs no more than ordinary beef. And ladies, Kroger guarantees it's the best eating beef you've ever served or your money back. So go to your neighborhood Kroger store soon. Get the one beef that's always fresh, always tender, always delicious. That's Kroger Tender Ray beef, the finest beef value in town. And now, Hearts in Harmony. Penny Gibbs has been seeing young Dr. Evans with willing and enthusiastic regularity the past 3 or 4 months. But last night she refused to go out with him because, as she later confided to her brother Pat, she was hoping that Johnny Keith would phone. Penny didn't hear from Johnny last night and left the house rather dejectedly this morning. When the doorbell rings in the Gibbs home this morning, it's Penny's invalid foster father who answers it.
Hey, I'll have to put an engine on this wheelchair of mine if the doorbell rings many more times this morning. And now, what do you want?
Good morning, Dad.
Oh, hello, Johnny. Come in, son.
Thanks. How's everything this morning?
Oh, terrible. If the doorbell's rung once today, it's rung 50 times.
And you've had to answer it every time.
Every single time. I've put enough mileage on this pushmobile of mine to reach from Maine to California.
You alone, Jed? Where is everybody?
Well, most everybody's upstairs or down in the basement. Somebody got the bright idea that the house should get a pretty thorough cleaning, so that leaves me to answer the door.
Well, if Penny's busy...
Oh, Penny's not here, son. She's at the community center. Something special doing over there this afternoon.
Oh, she'll be busy all day. Well, I won't bother her then. I can see her sometime tomorrow, unless she's too busy then. Well, I'll see you...
Oh, no, don't go, son, unless you have something special to do.
No, I'm free most of the day. All I have to see is Frank Carter and sign a few papers.
Oh, young Carter's handling all your legal work for you, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How's his law practice coming along?
Oh, he's not getting rich at what he does for me, but I understand he gets a rather nice retainer from several manufacturing firms around Rossville and Wayne City.
Oh, corporation stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money in that, and a good future.
Oh, Frank's a good boy, and a good lawyer, I think. I think he'll do well.
Well, I certainly hope he does. I know those couple of months that Penny worked for him, it was all he could do to pay her wages.
Yes, he was telling me about that just the other day. Oh, incidentally, he'd like to have Penny come back to work for him.
Well, I'd like to see her do it. But her time is pretty well occupied with the center. And right now, the Billings Construction Company is paying our rent and buying our groceries. You haven't been down to my office since you've been back, have you, son?
No, Jed, I haven't.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that. That was your office as well as mine. Even more than mine before you went away.
Yeah, I know, Jed, but, well, it was one of the places I thought I'd like to go when I got back. Even spend some time there, but, I don't know, I guess I forgot about it when I got back.
Well, maybe it was the excitement of that plane accident on the way home, son. It sort of, it took your mind off the little things you intended to do when you got home.
Home, Jed? Well, home is not quite the right word for what I came home to.
Now, son, you don't mean that.
Oh, but I do. I don't know why, Jed, but Rossville's different from what it was when I left.
Oh, it's not different at all.
I think it is.
Well, can you name one thing about it that's changed? One building, one street, one place, or one person who's any different?
Well, on the surface, no. I don't see any change.
Mm-hmm.
What's different is more what I feel, not what I see.
No, then. You're the one who's changed.
No, I don't think I have, Jed. I came back with the same feelings I took away with me.
Did you now?
Mm-hmm.
You went away poor, untraveled, inexperienced in many ways. And you came back rich, having seen a good portion of the world. And you had a brush with death that nearly swept you off the face of the earth. You can't say you're the same person who left us, Johnny. No, son. Oh, if anything or anyone has changed, it's you.
Well, Jed, being rich isn't important to me. It's not wealth I earned but inherited.
Mm-hmm.
And I traveled a lot when I was younger. And as for what you call my brush with death, well, if anything, it brought me closer to the things and the people in Rossville that I love. Made me appreciate and cherish them more.
Well, then I don't know what's changed. If it isn't you, nothing has.
I don't know what it is either, Jed. Maybe it isn't that anything's changed, just that something's missing. Something I came home for isn't here anymore.
What did you come home for, son?
Well, why does anyone come home? Because he thinks it's where he belongs.
Well, you certainly belong here.
Well, I don't think I do.
Yeah, that young Dr. Evans sort of took your place while you were away, didn't he?
No, Jed. It's not Joel or Joel and Penny.
No? Well, tell me, as someone who has always been interested in Penny's happiness, what do you think of Joel?
As someone who might make her happy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I think really doesn't matter, Jed. It's what she thinks. And obviously she thinks he can, and she thinks he does make her happy. That's good enough for me.
Penny, where are you?
I'm here when you're in the kitchen.
Oh. Hiya, Penny.
Hello.
All right if I come in and help you with something?
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Wendy, but everything's just about ready. I know you were in the ping pong contest upstairs,
I was, but I got put out.
Thought you were a champion.
Mm.
That's scared about enough, I think. Well, aren't you the ping pong champion, Wendy?
Yeah, I guess I'm about the best ping pong player in Rossville when Dead Duck Wernicke isn't talking to Hazel.
What does Dead Duck have to do with it?
Well, Dead Duck's father just bought him a car, a new one, with a push-button top and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Dead Duck's a senior, and Hazel has a leaning towards seniors. You know, just a little tilt. Especially when they have brand new cars.
Well, I still don't see why you lost the game just because he was talking to Hazel.
You don't?
No.
Well, I sure couldn't keep my eye on the ball and Hazel at the same time.
I see. Well, I wouldn't worry about Dead Duck if I were you. I still think Hazel prefers you above all others.
Well, we have been sort of, like that all our lives.
And I think you will be like that all the rest of your lives. Wendy, I'll tell you something you can do for me if you like. You can carry the punch bowl over to the table if you don't mind.
Well, of course I don't mind. I came down to help you. This table over here, Penny?
Yeah, and you can get the cups out of the cabinet if you like.
All right. Which cabinet?
This one right here.
Oh, yeah. Say, Penny.
Yes. Oh, look, Wendy, wipe off the cups with this cloth before you put them on the tray.
Uh-huh. Golly, there are a lot of cups in this cabinet. You want them all wiped off?
Mm-hmm. All of them.
Oh. Well, I guess it'll be all right if no one sees me.
I don't think you'll be seen. You know, not everyone's allowed in this kitchen. Only a few.
Why am I one of the few?
Well, you ought to know. You helped make the rules. Only committee members are allowed in here.
Oh, yeah, that's right, isn't it? And anyhow, I just remembered.
Remembered what?
Oh, nothing. But your father and I had a little talk. I hope he made you understand. He did, didn't he?
Oh, yes, Wendy, I understand perfectly. Now, start wiping those cups.
Oh, sure. Penny.
Mm-hmm.
Penny, will you ask Mr. Keith to come to the center and tell us about that plane crash?
I intend to the very next time I see him.
Oh, well, could you make the very next time today, maybe? Or by tonight at the latest?
Why the rush?
Oh, well, we'd like to have him take over the lecture hour this coming Friday afternoon. It's the only Friday old Miss Grump can lecture on civic leadership this year. And well, We're all a lot more interested in nearly getting killed in a plane crash than in civic leadership.
Oh, you're not too anxious to hear Miss Grump, are you?
Well, I had her in civics last semester, and I've heard her not. So is everyone.
Oh, Winnie, Miss Grump's already been invited to give the lecture next Friday afternoon.
I know, but we told her that Johnny... Well, we said Mr. Keith when we talked to her about it. We told her he was willing to give us a lecture if he could do it this Friday, and she said that was all right with her.
Well, I'll ask Johnny if he'll give a talk this Friday.
Will you make sure he does?
I'll ask him if he will. That's the best I can do. Don't count on it too much, but I have an idea. Johnny will not only be willing to give the talk, but flattered to know that you want him to.
Penny, there's someone at the door.
Oh, Jed.
Will you get it, or shall I?
No, darling, I'll get it. I was tangled up in my sewing for a minute.
Hello, Penny.
Hello, Johnny. Come in.
Well, how was the day at the community center besides busy?
Oh, exhausting. I was wondering when I'd see you again.
Oh, well, did I fail to call when I promised, or did I break a date?
No, you didn't, but I kind of thought I'd hear from you last night. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. I should have called, Penny. I had a good time with you and Joel the other night, thanks to you and Joel.
Well, I think you deserve a third of the credit for the fun.
So?
Yeah. It was a nice evening, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was a very, very nice evening.
Mm-hmm.
And, Penny, I would have called, except that something important came up. I've even forgotten what it was.
Oh, whatever it was, I think it was a good reason. By the way, I've been ordered to request your presence at the community center lecture Friday afternoon at 2.
Do I have to go? I hate lectures.
No, I think you'll like this one. If you agree, of course. You're going to give it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give it.
Yeah, you're going to give it.
Well, I can't lecture on anything.
You can lecture. You lecture me when you've a mind to.
Well, I can lecture you when you need it, Penny, but I don't think that would quite be the kind of lecture that would be interesting to the kids at the center.
No, neither do I. No, they want you to tell them about your trip back from South Africa, the airplane trip and the accident, the rescue.
Oh, that.
Yeah, you could make it an interesting talk, and it needn't be long. They'll want to ask you questions, so that'll take up most of the time.
Well, I'd love to do it, Penny, for the kids and for you. But I'm afraid I can't. Not this Friday.
Well, why not?
Well, because I'll be on my way back to South Africa Friday. As a matter of fact, Friday afternoon, Penny. On my way home.
So Johnny Keith is going back to South Africa. How does Penny feel about this? Does she want him to go? If she doesn't, will she do anything to try to keep him in Rossville? Can she keep him from leaving? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. Kroger Tender Ray Beef. It's delicious. Delicious is right. Kroger Tender Ray Beef is wonderfully fresh, wonderfully tender. The best eating beef you ever tasted. No other beef so fresh can be so tender. Yet Kroger Tender Ray Beef costs no more than ordinary beef. And listen, besides offering you the one beef that's always fresh, always tender, Kroger also offers you more meat for your money. You see, Kroger has a special way of cutting beef that removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. Since all this is done before your purchase is weighed and priced, you get more meat, less waste. So to get the most, to get the best, get Kroger Tender Ray Beef. Friends, please keep in mind that the only place you can get famous Kroger Tender Ray Beef is at your neighborhood Kroger store. When you buy Kroger Tender Ray, you get the one beef that's always fresh, always tender, always delicious. And you get more meat for your money, because Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. So visit your neighborhood Kroger store soon and get Kroger Tender Ray Beef, the finest beef value in town. Be with us again tomorrow. Same time, same station, for another exciting transcribed chapter of Hearts in Harmony.
Countdown for blastoff. X -5, -4, -3, -2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000 could-be years on 1,000 would-be worlds. The National Broadcasting Company presents X-1. Tonight's story, The Man in the Moon.
Attention, attention. This is the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons calling all local agencies. Attention, this is a coded report nationwide. Missing since 9 o'clock this morning the following persons: Smigley Jonathan, 5 feet 8 inches tall, brown hair, brown eyes, mastoid scar behind right ear, last seen wearing blue top coat and tan cap, wanted by Los Angeles... Hello, get off this wavelength. This is a restricted band.
Hello, Earth.
Whoever you are, you're on a coded wavelength. Tune out. This frequency is reserved for the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons.
Hello, Earth. This is the moon calling Earth. Hello, Earth.
This guy's loony.
This is Jake in transmission.
Jake, this Charlie of the code room. Some crackpot is on our frequency.
Yeah, I heard him, Charlie. I've got CQ trying to trace a source now. We should have a triangulation any second.
Well, hurry it up, will you? Some ham is in for a good stiff fine by the FCC.
Yeah, they ought to take his license away. Oh, here comes Lenny with the directional fix.
Right.
Thanks, Lenny. Hey, what's this? This is impossible.
What's going on down there? How about it? Get that ham out of my kilocycles.
Now, listen, Charlie, unless this is a gag, that interference is being beamed from 240,000 miles away.
Oh, now, Jake, you know there ain't no such thing as 240,000 miles away.
Yes, there is, Charlie. Straight up.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Charlie, that signal is coming from the moon.
Are you nuts?
Well, somebody might be bouncing it like a radar signal.
Radar on this frequency? Where'd you study basic radio?
Now, listen, Flathead, you asked for a fix. I gave the best fix our instruments can find. Take it or leave it. Somebody on the moon is calling the Bureau of Missing
Well, what's the sweat, Charlie? Shouldn't you be broadcasting?
Listen, Mr. Timpkin. You know I'm a sober citizen, right?
Hmm?
Never once have I broadcast with the smell of alcohol on my breath, right?
Right.
In all your 12 years here at the Bureau, did I once
What's
ever...
the matter, Charlie?
We're picking up a message on our wavelength.
Did you report to the FCC?
I ain't got the nerve.
Well, what's wrong?
You'll scream when you hear this, Mr. Timpkin. You'll jump right out the window, but... We are getting an SOS from the moon. Well, that's it. He started on voice and switched to Morse. The way the signal repeats sounds like a phonograph record or automatic sender of some sort.
Well, what's it say?
Let's see here. Can you read me? Help. Otterburn. Will contact when moon is in phase.
Let's have that again.
Can you read me? Help. Otterburn. Will contact when moon is in phase.
Otterburn.
That sounds like a name, huh?
Otterburn. Wait a minute.
Something registered?
Cornelius Otterburn. Holy jumping, hold it back.
Hey, where are you going?
Talk to the chief.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you going to tell him? We just got a CQ from the man in the moon?
That's exactly what I am going to tell him, Charlie.
Oh, this is just too much for me.
Washington Star Ledger.
Let me have O'Brien on city desk.
A moment. O'Brien?
Seamus,
Yeah?
Charlie Starbuck down at the Missing Persons Bureau. You want a hot one? No kidding. This'll cost you a beer, okay?
All right, shoot, Noodle Brain. I'll stay on your wavelength for 30 seconds.
Okay. We just got a radio message from the moon.
Yep. What?
From the moon.
Call me back when you're sober.
Okay, Seamus, if you don't know a story when you see one,
I'll send you the name of a good psychiatrist. So long, Orson Welles.
How do you like that? You don't believe me.
Otterburn, Mr. Wade. Now, does that name ring a bell?
You're the man with the photographic memory, Henry. What about Otterburn?
Cornelius Otterburn, atomic physicist, reported missing from his home in Baltimore on June 5th, 1945, just 5 years ago. Vanished completely.
Are you trying to tell me you really think there's something to this man-on-the-moon business? Henry, I'm surprised at you. This is some crackpot trying to jam the airwaves.
Yes, but the name Otterburn is so unusual.
So are a lot of names.
And I have a theory that...
I was afraid of that. Henry, you always have a theory. Let's see, what was it last year? Oh, yes. That people disappear in occupational psych.
But it's true.
Please, Henry, I'm a busy man. You expect me to believe that this Otterburn is sitting up on the moon, sending out shortwave messages?
Well, he might be on Earth bouncing the messages off the moon. But who's to say he isn't on the moon?
Henry, as chief of this bureau, I have my hands full trying to coordinate reports from 48 states and Alaska. I have no time to include the moon.
But, Mr. Wade...
Out, Henry.
But, Mr. Wade...
Out, I'm busy.
Yes.
Oh, here. Take this folder of reports for the dead file.
Yes.
And no more nonsense, eh, Henry?
Yes.
I appreciate that you have a very dull job filing old missing persons reports, and I appreciate that you take an active interest in the affairs of the Bureau. But no more nonsense, huh?
No, sir. No more nonsense.
Pardon me.
Hmm?
You are Mr. Henry Timken.
That's my name.
Permit me, Jefferson Philo, scientific feature writer.
Oh, how do you do? Oh, are you a newspaper man?
Not exactly. I write as a hobby. Occasionally the papers give me leads on an assignment. If I may have a moment of your time.
Oh, well, certainly. Just sit down at my desk over here.
Thank you. My, that's quite a stack of papers.
Filing. I'm the records custodian of the Bureau. 12 years and never misplaced a record.
Magnificent. I admire the precise mind, Mr.
Timken.
Of course. Now, Mr. Timken, Mr. O'Brien, the editor of the Star Ledger, said I might drop by and investigate a rumor. Only a rumor, mind you, that a message from the, moon?
Well, we aren't certain it's from the moon. It may be a bounce. They have bounced radar waves off the moon, you know.
Yes, I know. I wrote the first newspaper article on it.
Really? I'd be interested to read it.
I must have a copy in my briefcase.
Well, don't bother.
Oh, but I insist. Oh, yes. There you are. I'll leave it on your desk.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now, about this message from the moon, Mr. Timken.
Well, now, we don't know for sure, as I said. But I believe that this message, wherever it originates, is from Cornelius Otterburn.
The physicist?
Oh, do you know him?
I once wrote an article on his contributions in nuclear mechanics. A brilliant man, Otterburn. Years ahead of his contemporaries.
Well, whoever is sending those signals, if he isn't on the moon, is at least using the moon as a sounding board, bouncing the signal.
But why, Mr. Timken? Why?
Well, if you will come here tomorrow night at 8, Mr. Philo, we may learn the answer to that question. I've arranged with Charlie, our radio man, to let me use the equipment.
May I consider this an invitation?
You certainly may.
Very well, sir. Until tomorrow night, then.
Goodbye, Mr. Philo. Let's see now. Aiken, Abelard, Abramson, Rono, Atch. Well, that's funny. Now, where did this list of names come from? Paul Ahrens, astromathematician. Robert Simons, electronic engineer. Carl Parker, mining specialist. Well, this must have got mixed up with the papers on my desk by accident. Peculiar list of names. Oh, good morning, Charlie.
Oh, hi, Mr. Timken. See, we made the papers.
Oh?
And how? And as the chief steamed up about it, he really gave me what for.
What did the paper say?
Oh, mostly ha-ha. Here's the Herald. Listen. Man on the moon contacts Missing Persons Bureau. Missing atomic scientists sitting on the moon, say Bureau experts, etc., etc. What a panning.
Well, no wonder Mr. Wade is hopping.
Say, about tonight, Mr. Timken, I don't
know. Now, you promised you'd give me a key to the radio room.
Yeah, but I didn't expect
it. I'll take full responsibility with Mr. Wade.
It's time for the morning broadcast. We got quite a list today.
Well, mind if I listen a while? We may hear Otterburn.
Why, ain't self-conscious. Just stick around.
Yes.
Attention. Attention. This is the Federal Missing Persons Bureau calling all local agencies. Nationwide. This is a coded broadcast. The following persons are missing. Ahrens, Dr. Paul, 5'5", brown hair, brown eyes, scar on left side of chin, thick glasses.
Ahrens.
Occupation, astromathematician. Missing since 6 o'clock this morning. Being sought by Bel Air Police.
Charlie.
Repeat. Dr. Paul
Charlie,
Ahrens.
turn it off a second.
Hold it. Delay 1 minute. Listen, Mr. Timken, it's okay to stay, but you can't interrupt us.
This is important. Did you say Dr. Ahrens was reported missing this morning?
6 a.m. We got the report from Bel Air less than an hour ago.
Are you certain, Charlie?
Positive. What is this?
Charlie, what's the next name on the list?
Let's see. Simons, Robert, engineer.
What?
Came in less than 20 minutes ago.
20?
Hey, what's the matter with you? You look like you've seen a ghost.
It's nothing, Charlie, except that last night, quite by accident, someone left a list of names on my desk. And that list included the names of those 2 men who were reported missing within the last hour.
What? Oh, that don't sound right to me.
Well, it isn't right, Charlie. It leaves a big question to be answered. Who would make up a list of missing persons before they were missing, not after?
And you say this list of names was left on your desk accidentally?
Well, I believe so, Mr. Wade.
Do you have any ideas, Henry?
Well, it's hard to say. Mr. Philo left some papers from his briefcase.
Mr. Philo?
Well, a science feature writer.
I see. You were the leak on that story, then?
Yes, sir, I'm afraid I was. I didn't think it would be treated as a laughing matter.
Well, we'll deal with that later.
Yes, sir.
What's this Philo like?
Well, he's a strange old duck, bald, thick glasses, tall. He walks stooped over. Seems to know a great deal about scientific data, but, of course, being a science writer...
Is there any other possibility?
I believe that this is all hooked up with the broadcast from Otterburn.
That seems to be a very remote possibility.
The Missing Persons Bureau deals in remote possibilities, Mr. Wade.
I do not require a statement of policy.
Yes, sir.
What's the theory?
Well, for some time now, it has been my contention that in a country like ours, where even the cleverest criminal can be ferreted out and located eventually, there is no such thing as a missing person.
I was afraid of that.
For 12 years now, I have kept the central files, where information from all over the country is channeled and recorded. I have made a private study.
This is beginning to sound familiar, Henry.
And I have discovered that each year, literally thousands of persons vanish, leaving no trace. They are never located. Where do they go? Nobody knows. And they disappear in interesting cycles.
What sort of cycles?
Occupations, for example. One year we'll have a run on, well, say, coal miners. Next year, the proportion of engineers increases. And then scientists. And
what do you think happens, Henry?
I don't know, Mr. Wade, but I'm beginning to suspect that somebody else has discovered the same phenomenon, even to the point, perhaps, of being able to predict who will turn up among the missing next.
Philo?
Well, I don't know. But I would like to find out.
And you think Otterburn may be a part of this picture?
Mr. Wade, I definitely do.
Henry, do you honestly expect me to buy an idea like that?
It is more than an idea. The 2 top men on this list are missing, and...
Maybe so, but the rest of them aren't. Parker, Watson, Gibbs. Why, I saw Parker in the restaurant where I had lunch today.
Yes, but...
And if you think I'm going to make myself a laughingstock by accepting such a crack-brained theory...
Well,
Excuse me.
Yes.
Hello, Wade speaking. Yes? Yes? I see. What name? Just a moment. Henry, let me see that list again.
Here you are, sir.
Go ahead. I see. I'll get back to you. I guess I owe you an apology, Henry.
Sir?
Carl Parker was just reported missing.
Parker?
3rd man on your list.
Holy mackerel.
Exactly. Henry, for a good many years now, I've ridiculed these theories of yours. I don't know. Perhaps I've underestimated you. Maybe this time you've really stumbled onto something.
What do you intend to do, Mr. Wade?
I don't know. I haven't thought it out yet.
I was planning to listen for another broadcast tonight in the hope that Otterburn might try to contact us again.
Good idea. I believe I'll join you.
I also invited Mr. Philo, the feature writer.
Oh? I'll be glad to meet him. I'm beginning to get interested in you, Mr. Philo.
Mr. Wade, you don't think...
That he's mixed up in this?
Yes.
I don't know, Henry. But it suddenly strikes me that we don't know very much about him, really.
We ought to contact the police.
No, Henry. I think we're better off keeping this between ourselves for the moment. We're dealing with the unknown. And in solving an equation for the X factor, it's often easier to limit the number of terms. You follow me?
We don't know, Mr. Wade.
There may be more danger in what you have discovered than you are aware of. Let's keep it quiet. Do you agree?
Maybe you're right, Mr. Wade. I haven't thought of the danger involved.
Well, Mr. Philo is late.
Well, he said he'd be here. He strikes me as a man who keeps appointments.
Look out the window.
Yes.
The moon is almost in direct phase. Can't wait much longer.
Well, it's a perfectly clear night for transmission. If anybody's sending, we ought to pick it up with this equipment.
You'd better switch on the set.
Yes. I never realized how eerie this office could be when it was empty.
I'll have to lighten the hall for Mr. Philo when he comes. Are you getting anything?
Just some foreign stuff, I think.
And this concludes the British portion of tonight's programming from Johannesburg, South Africa. We continue in April.
That's a peculiar transmission sound.
Earth.
Now, that sounds like something. See if I can work the selector.
The moon is in phase.
Yes.
Hello, Earth. Can you hear me?
I'll try to return. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Earth.
Hello, do you hear me?
Oh, I get you now. Thank God.
Who are you? Can you hear me? Who are you?
This is Professor Cornelius Otterburn. Hello?
Go on, I hear you.
Not much time. They're on to me. They've located my sending point. You hear me?
Go ahead, keep talking.
I've only enough oxygen for a few minutes more.
Well, where are you?
I'm on the Earth side of the moon. You get that? The Earth side of the moon. A volcanic crater.
Good. Start that recorder, Mr. Wade. Go on. Explain, please. Explain, please.
Now listen closely. There is an Earth colony on the moon. There is an Earth colony on the far side of the moon, made up of renegade scientists and criminals. Professor Ernst Halsman.
He died in an insane asylum in 1938.
Professor Ernst Halsman discovered nuclear rocket power in 1935. Turned his plans over to escaped inmates of the asylum. They took off and set up a colony on the far side of the moon in 1938.
Go ahead, we're recording you.
Each year, they recruit new colonists from Earth. Slave labor, mostly. I was kidnapped in 1945.
Yes, I know. Keep talking.
They wanted me to work on atomic drive for their flying disc.
Still getting you. Go on.
Last month, 6 others and I escaped.
Speak louder.
You got to stop them. Stop them.
Stop who?
The moon colony, planning to take over the Earth invasion. Oh.
Hang on.
No oxygen. Hard to breathe. Listen, they have agents on Earth. You hear me?
Agents on Earth? Where? Who? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Agents in...
Henry, look out. Someone at the window. Get down.
Henry, are you all right? I think so. His shot smashed the transmitter.
And the lights. Strike a match.
Careful. It was close.
I got a look at him. From the description, it was your Mr. Philo.
We got a recording anyway, but not the most important part of the message. Poor Otterburn, suffocating to death.
Henry, we've got to get you out of here. He said they have agents. Philo was probably one of them. He'll be looking for you now, trying to kill you.
The police...
You think the police would believe a fantastic story like this? People being kidnapped to the moon as slave labor? Moon colony planning an invasion of the Earth? But Henry, believe me, they'd trap us into straitjackets before we could finish.
We've got to do something.
We need time. Time to get close.
You don't think my theory was bunk then?
I know it wasn't, Henry. Right now, my only concern is for your safety.
But we can't walk out of here. Philo's probably waiting.
Listen, there's a service elevator that leads to the basement garage.
Yeah?
We can get down there. There are some delivery trucks parked there all night. We can probably get one started. The garage door's off the ramp, work from the inside. We'll start the mechanism and make a run for it.
I don't know. I think if we call the police...
By the time the police get here, we'll be dead. You think Philo will wait outside all night? Come on. That's an order.
Okay. But what about the recording of Otterburn's notes?
We'll leave that here in the safe in my office. They'll never get into that. Let's go. You buzz the elevator while I hide the recording. This is the basement. Come on. Keep to the side.
Yes, sir.
Shh. Let's try that delivery truck over there. I'll get in. All right, Henry. You start the mechanism to open the garage door, then jump onto the truck.
Yes, sir.
We'll make a dash for it.
Where can we go?
I have a farm outside Chevy Chase. It's private. Miles from the nearest neighbor and completely hidden by trees. We'll run for that. Go ahead. Start the door up.
All right.
Quick, jump in. There we go, Henry. Cross your fingers. We made it out all right. Anything doing?
There's a blue coupe behind us, Mr. Wade. It seems to be following.
I'll cut up Pennsylvania Avenue. Now Route 1, toward Baltimore.
It is following. He turned with us. Can you go faster?
Not much faster.
Well, he's gaining on us.
I've got an idea. Hang on, Henry.
Yes. Why'd you stop?
I'll turn off the lights. It worked. He shot right past us. Now we'll double back and go out another route.
Well, I don't see anything. I think we've lost him.
Good. I think everything's going to be all right now. We can be at my farm in less than an hour. Not much longer now. Is anyone behind us?
I thought I saw the blue coupe again, but I was mistaken. Whew. This place is really out in the wilderness.
We can stay here indefinitely till we'll figure out the next move. Now, just up this third road now. There's the house up ahead.
You're not going toward it.
No, I have a better idea. There's a big abandoned wheat silo on my grounds. It's down the hollow where it can't be seen except from the air. And even then, the oak trees shield it. We'll hide you out there. Now, we leave the truck here. It'll never be seen. Come on.
Yes. How did you ever find this place, Mr. Wade?
I've always liked seclusion. I bought it about 12 years ago. Come up here in the summertime to get away from it all. There's the silo.
It's certainly well hidden.
There's a small door around the side. Come on. Be careful of those bushes.
Yes.
It's hard to see them in the dark.
Do you suppose Philo will find us?
I assure you, Henry, Mr. Fowler will never find us here. Not in a million years. Here's the door.
It's pitch dark.
Hold my arm. I know the way. Just a few steps up. And another door.
Steel. This is an unusual silo. Double-walled, wood outside and steel inside.
Completely fireproof. An army couldn't wreck it. We're inside the inner shell. Careful. We're in a circular room. Stay here a moment. I'll go outside and see if the coast is clear. In a moment, your eyes will become accustomed to the darkness. I'll bring back some food and water.
Don't be long, Mr. Wade. This place gives me the willies.
Just a moment.
Mr. Wade. I swear I hear something. Mr. Wade. What's that? There is something. Good Lord. There's someone in here. It's locked. Oh, no. Mr. Wade. Mr. Wade, let me out. I'm not alone in here. Mr. Wade. This must be a light switch. Thank God. Oh, no. People. 10, 15, 20. Mr. Wade, help! Help!
It'll do you no good to shout, Henry.
Mr. Wade, where are you?
Outside. Speaking over the intercom.
Mr. Wade, there are people in here. 15 or 20 of them. They're sitting like statues, just staring at me.
They won't hurt you, Henry.
What?
They've all been drugged. They're even more helpless than you.
But who are they?
Permit me to introduce them, Henry, since they're currently unable to introduce themselves. The gentleman seated before you, the one with the scar, is Dr. Paul Ahrens, the astromathematician. Next to him is Mr. Robert Simons, electronic engineer.
Names on the list.
Yes, you're familiar with the rest. They've all been, shall we say, recruited for work with Professor Halsman's group on the moon.
Moon? Then you
You're one of them.
Of course. Oh, yes. There's one whose name was not on our list. If you'll turn around, Henry, you'll recognize the drugged form of your old friend, Mr. Philo.
Philo. But I thought...
That he was part of the conspiracy? No. On the contrary. His snooping made it necessary for us to include him.
Yes, but the man in the window, the one who fired the shot...
An agent of mine. The pilot of this ship.
Ship? What ship?
This silo is camouflaged for a rocket launching platform. In a moment, the roof will slide back for the rocket's takeoff.
A rocket ship?
In exactly 70 hours, you and your companions will join Professor Otterburn on the moon.
But you can't do this to me.
We have done it, Henry.
No.
You see, there was another name omitted in that list, which I carelessly mixed up with your papers. That of Henry Timpkin.
No.
Bon voyage.
I won't let you do this. You can't. Please, let me out. Let me out, please. This can't happen. Let me out. Let me out.
Attention. Missing since 8 o'clock last night, the following persons. Timpkin Henry, age 45, height 5 feet 8, 165 pounds, brown eyes, slightly balding, occupation records custodian. Repeat, Timpkin Henry, age 45, height 5 feet 8, 165 pounds.
In just a moment, a word about next week's adventure. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you The Man in the Moon, an original radio drama written by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were Louis Van Rooten as Henry, Santos Ortega as the Chief, Ross Martin as Charlie, Sidney Smith as Otterburn, Bob Haig as Jake, Joe DeSantis as Philo, and Ed Latimer as O'Brien. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Fred Way and is an NBC Radio Network production. And now, next week, the sign on the window said Perigis Wonderful Dolls. A woman and a child waited outside. The little girl peering eagerly through the window, and the woman glancing impatiently at her wristwatch, as if expecting someone who was late for an appointment. And there was nothing about Perigis' doll shop to warn them that they were waiting to keep an appointment with doom at X-1. Countdown for blastoff. X-5, -4, -3, -2, X-1, fire! From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future. Adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000 could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company presents X-1. Tonight, X-1 presents Perigis Wonderful Dolls by George Lefferts. The doll shop stood on a quiet Washington side street, not too far from the sprawling Pentagon building. A woman and child waited outside, the little girl peering eagerly through the window at the dolls inside, and the woman glancing impatiently at her wristwatch, as if expecting someone who was late for an appointment. There was nothing about the doll shop to warn them that they were waiting to keep an appointment with doom.
Mommy, look.
What, dear?
In the window of the shop, the tiny dolls. Oh, Mommy, do you think Daddy will buy me one?
We'll ask him when he comes, dear. Should be here soon. He said 3 o'clock on this corner.
I see him, Mommy. See?
Oh, Henry, over here.
Hello, dear. I'm sorry I'm late.
Well, we're all ready to go shopping. Cindy's been...
Yes, well, I'm afraid we'll have to call off the shopping element.
Oh, Henry, we promised Cindy.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's just one of those things. You've been the wife of an Army colonel long enough to know his life isn't his own.
What is it this time?
Some more of that flying sphere nonsense. The pilot who says he sighted it last month crashed and was killed today, and the general wants a full report.
Oh, dear. What next?
Well, I got a staff meeting at the Pentagon at 3:15.
Daddy, look in this window.
Well, I haven't time, dear. Alma,
Just for a minute, Daddy, please.
Now, Cindy, I haven't time to stop and watch a bunch of 6-inch dolls parading around in the shop window. Say, they are lifelike, aren't they? Look at that, Alma. Dolls are marching around like a regular review. They've even got their own little band.
See the one in the red jacket, Daddy?
Yeah.
He's the leader. He's bowing to us.
Well, if they don't look human.
Henry, your staff meeting.
Oh, yes. Well, I got to run.
Can we buy one, Daddy?
Well, not now, dear, and I'll run along. Now, don't go spending a lot of money on that nonsense.
No, dear.
Bye. Bye, Cindy.
Bye, Daddy. Oh, look, Mommy, the band is going to play.
Aren't they wonderful, honey? Honey, I must have stood on this corner 1,000 times. I've never noticed this shop before.
Look at the man inside, Mommy. Who's he?
That's the proprietor, dear.
Doesn't he look funny with those red cheeks and white mustache?
It's easy to see who he models his dolls after.
Mommy, look. He's coming to the door. He's coming.
Good evening, children.
Good evening.
How funny he talks.
Hush, Cindy.
Would you like to step inside the shop of Santo Perigis?
Well, yes, we would. But...
This way.
Mommy, it's like fairyland.
Here in the shop of Santo Perigis, creator of Perigis Universal Wonderful Dolls, the world of adult reality is blended with the world of child's fantasy.
This is a new shop, isn't it, Mr. Perigis?
What is new and what is old? Come, this way. Would you like to meet one of my little ones?
Oh, yes.
Now, this one in the red jacket is Toto. He is the leader. Handle him ever so gently. See, I will set him on the table. Speak, little one.
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? Oh, Mommy, he talks. The doll talks.
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That is nothing for Perigis' wonderful dolls. Listen. Sing. Sing, Toto. Sing for the little girl.
My name is Toto.
Sing, Toto.
Men are big and tall. Dolls are very small. When men begin to fall, the dolls will rule them all. More.
How do they work, Mr. Perigis?
How do they work? Ah, that is the secret of the great Perigis, greatest of all doll makers. To make an ordinary doll is nothing. To make a perfect replica, that is something. But to make a doll with intelligence, that is the work of an artist, eh?
I suppose that they're very expensive to buy.
Perigis does not sell his dolls, madam.
You don't sell them?
When I construct a doll like Toto, I cannot bear to be permanently separated from him. So instead of selling, I rent my little people.
You do? You rent dolls?
Precisely. $10.
For how long?
For as long as they are cherished. My only request is that when you grow tired of my dolls, you return them to me in good condition.
Oh, Mommy, could we take him home? Take him home. Take him home. Take him home. Oh, look, he's bowing and dancing. He wants to
Well,
come.
honey, your father said that we shouldn't spend a lot
Oh,
of money.
please, I'll take such good care of it. Please.
Well, honey, we'll have to deal with your father later, but... Well...
Oh, Mommy.
All right. Wrap him up, Mr. Perigis. But I have a feeling that when your father comes home, we'll be sorry.
Be sorry. Be sorry. Be sorry. Be sorry.
my room, and you're going to sleep right here next to my pillow. I wish you wouldn't laugh like that. I'm going to have to teach you some manners. And you be quiet because my daddy will be home soon. And he's a colonel in the Air Force staff. And he'll bust you to private if you don't behave. Come along now. I'm going to introduce you to my puppy dog, Mr. Blister, so be good. Here, Mr. Blister. Here, Blister. Come on. Mr. Blister, this is Toto. Dear, I don't think Mr. Blister likes you, Toto. Come over here and shake hands with Toto, Mr. Blister. Come on now. Mr. Blister! Let him go! Let him go! Let go! Get him!
Cindy! Mr. Blister, come over here. Come over here. Cindy, what happened?
Mr. Blister tried to bite my doll. How frightened he is.
Oh, honey, dolls don't get frightened.
But he was frightened, Mommy. He screamed.
You imagined it, dear. It's only a doll.
He did.
Well, Mr. Blister didn't mean it. Now, you know he's the gentlest little pup alive.
He is, and he's nasty, and I hate him.
Oh, now, see, you've hurt his feelings.
I don't care. He tried to bite my new doll, and I don't ever want to see him again, ever.
Oh, dear. All right, Mr. Blister. You come downstairs with me. Cindy's angry with you tonight.
I'll kill him.
Cindy, where did you learn a thing like that?
Toto said it.
Honey, you've had a very exciting day. Now, brush your teeth now and go to bed. Daddy's coming home late, so he'll see you in the morning. Good night, dear. Sleep well.
I hate him.
Hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him.
Morning, Alma. Breakfast ready?
In a minute, dear. How was the staff meeting last night?
Horrible bore as usual. I don't know what's got into the old man. Just because a few farmers corroborated the pilot's report, he thinks some strange aircraft has penetrated our radar zone. Well, where's the little one?
Up in her room.
Now, that's funny. She's usually down here before me.
Well, she's probably up to something. Sit down, dear.
Say, remind me to take some papers back to the War Department, will you? I left them in my strong box.
You haven't been bringing your reports home, have you?
Well, it's safe enough.
Well, you told me it was against regulations to bring secret papers home.
Well, I had to finish some work for the old man, and nobody will ever know the difference.
Well, I don't know. Oh, would you feed the puppy before we sit down, Henry?
Yes.
His bowl's under the sink.
Where is he? Say, that's funny. Here's his supper from last night, only half eaten.
He's getting fussy. Doesn't like canned dog food anymore.
Here, Blister. Here, Blister, Blister, Blister. I don't know where the dickens is that mutt.
Maybe he's on the back porch.
Here, Blister. Alma.
What is it, dear?
Alma, look.
Henry, is he...
He's dead.
But how?
From the looks of it, he might have been poisoned.
But who would do a thing like that to an innocent little puppy?
I don't know. Let me see his dish. Look at that. I don't understand this at all. Not at all.
What, dear? What is it?
There are pieces of broken glass in this food. Blue glass, you see?
How? Henry.
What?
I just remembered something.
What?
It may be coincidence, but in the bathroom this morning...
Well, what about the bathroom?
Oh, it's Cindy's blue glass, the one with the Mickey Mouse on it, was broken. I found pieces in the wastebasket. I meant to ask her about it.
Alma, for heaven's sake, you aren't suggesting that our little girl... Well, she loved Blister more than anyone.
Not last night, she didn't.
Why not?
He went after Toto.
Now, who is Toto?
That's her new doll.
Her what?
Honey, I was meaning to tell you.
But you bought her one of those dolls.
I just rented it.
Well, rented it. Now, look here, Alma. You know we haven't got the kind of money to throw away.
Well, she had her heart set on it, dear. I used my dividends.
All right. But what happened with Blister?
Well, he went for the doll, and Cindy said she hated him.
Oh, well, a child...
She said she'd kill him.
Where'd she get a thought like that?
I don't know.
Has she been watching those chillers on television?
I don't know.
Well, it's too ridiculous. Good heavens, a 9-year-old child putting ground glass in dog food. She'd have to be a monster.
Mommy!
She's coming.
Well, don't say anything. I'll talk to her.
Morning, dear.
Morning, Mommy. Morning, Daddy. What's the matter?
Sit down, dear.
Yes, sir.
Now, your mother tells me you broke your blue drinking glass.
Oh, no, I didn't break it.
Cindy.
I didn't.
Well, now, somebody broke it. It wasn't your mother, and it wasn't me.
And it must have been Toto.
Cynthia.
Cindy, you know Toto is only a doll. Now, a doll couldn't have broken your glass, could he? Well?
I guess not.
So we can't very well blame it on a doll, then, can we?
But he must have done it, Daddy.
Cindy, you know how Daddy feels about little girls who tell fibs. Now, did you break your glass and maybe accidentally get some pieces into Mr. Blister's dish to sort of punish him for biting your doll?
No, Daddy.
Well, I'd hate to think you'd done something you knew was wrong and you were blaming it on a doll.
Is something wrong with Mr. Blister? Is he sick?
Worse than that.
Henry.
The child has to face reality, Alma.
What's the matter with Mr. Blister?
He's dead, Cindy.
Oh, no. We can't be dead. He isn't dead, Daddy. No, he isn't. He isn't. Mommy.
Honey, he is dead, Cindy.
But he'll come back. He has to come back.
No, darling, he won't come back.
Ever?
Not ever.
Yes. Well, now that we've told you, Cindy, you want to change your mind about the glass?
Henry, leave her alone, please.
You think I killed him?
Now look what you've done. The child feels guilty enough,
My
Henry.
dear, this is no time for feelings to interfere.
You go up to your room, honey. Daddy and I'll be up in a minute.
I don't want to.
Please, Cindy. Now, we'll be right up, please. There. That's a good girl. Close the kitchen door behind you.
Mr. Blister's dead. He isn't coming back. Ever. Ever. Daddy thinks it was me, but it was you. It was you.
Eat your supper, dear.
I'm not hungry.
You scarcely touched your lunch.
I don't feel like eating.
Is it Mr. Blister?
Now, answer your mother.
She'll work it out her own way, Henry.
No, I don't know, Elma. When I was a boy, there was such a thing as discipline. Now, the way this child is being brought up...
Henry!
Well, it's true. There's no respect, lying, and...
Oh, there, honey. Now, your father's upset. He doesn't mean it.
What's happened to us? We were a nice, peaceful, happy family until you bought that cursed doll.
Now who's blaming things on the doll?
Well, it's true. Oh, now I've spilled my coffee.
I'll get you another cup.
Never mind. I'm late now. I better be going.
Oh, you wanted to get some papers from the strongbox.
Oh, yes.
Cindy, please, try to eat something.
Yes, ma'am.
Alma! Alma!
What is it?
Alma! It's gone.
What's gone?
The box, the strong box is gone.
It can't be. The door to your study's always locked. You and I have the only key.
I know all that, and I tell you it isn't there.
Well, who would go?
I don't know. Alma, those confidential reports, if they ever got into the wrong
I
hands...
warned you about keeping them
Well,
there.
What if it ever came out in the open? Can't you see the papers?
Call the police, Henry.
And throw my Army career in a wastebasket after 17 years? No. We've got to find it ourselves.
Well, it was there when I went in to clean this morning.
What about your key?
It's right here. I always keep it with me. It's funny.
Oh, no.
My other keys are on the ring.
Oh, you've lost it.
I don't see how.
Alma, how could you do
Oh,
it?
Henry, please.
We'll search the house. I can't think of anything else to do.
Well, you'll miss the staff meeting.
Meeting? My whole career goes up in smoke if we don't find those reports. Somebody got hold of your key and opened that room and... I know. Cindy.
You leave the child alone. She's been through enough. You know she wouldn't do a thing like that.
I don't know anything anymore. I don't even know my own child. I don't even know you. All I know is that strongbox is gone and it contains papers that are dynamite if the wrong person gets them. The question being who? What's that?
It's coming from upstairs. It must be Cindy's doll.
Oh, that blasted doll again.
Something must have set it off. I don't know how the mechanism works.
For heaven's sakes, let's go up and shut it off.
How do you do?
Stop it! Blasted little idiot.
Henry.
Ever since you...
Henry.
What?
Look.
Where? What?
Around the doll's neck. The key. The key to your study.
You see, Alma, It was Cindy after all.
I don't believe it.
Good heavens, do you have to have it spelled out for you? Here's our doll with a key around its neck.
She wouldn't, Henry. You know she wouldn't.
Oh, ever since you got this fool doll, she's been acting half insane. At first the dog, and now this. I think she hates herself.
Henry, Cindy is my child. I know her. I know she's a good, sensitive person with no malice in
You're
her.
simply refusing to face the facts, my dear.
What are you going to do?
I'm going downstairs and have a talk with that young lady. You're not telling the truth, Cindy.
I am.
Cindy, now you know that strongbox is very important to me. Now, I can understand that you might have been angry at me because I scolded you, and so you took it and hid it, just to spite me. Now, all I ask is for you to tell me the truth. Now, where is it?
I didn't take it, Daddy. Honest, I didn't take it.
Yeah. I suppose you're going to tell me now that a little 6-inch doll took it and hid it. Well, I'm speaking to you, young lady.
But I didn't take it, Daddy. You don't understand. Toto did it. He's terrible, awful. He says things. He's going to kill everybody.
Cindy, you're inventing things.
It's true. At night when I'm sleeping, he stands next to my pillow and whispers things to me. Awful things. He told me he'd kill me, too, if
Alma,
I told you.
I think this child is sick. I think she needs a doctor.
She's frightened, Henry. She's trembling like a leaf. Come on, dear. We'll go up to your room.
I don't want to go up there.
Honey, Mommy will stay with you.
I'm afraid he's up there.
Who?
Toto.
Well, he won't be up there for long. Mr. Toto is going right back to Perigis' wonderful doll shop before I lose my sanity, which means right now.
Welcome to the home of Perigis' wonderful doll.
Are you Perigi?
Santor Perigi, creator of the universal doll, the doll with a mind, the doll which...
I'm returning one of your masterpieces.
Oh? If you will step into the rear of my shop. Now the complaint?
No complaint. Here's your doll. Good riddance.
My little Toto. Rejected. You found the world of men too filled with hate.
Hate, 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 hate.
We will change all that later on. Return to your comrades in the window, little one. And now, Colonel Grayson.
I think we have no further business.
But we do, Colonel. Let me see. Yes, here it is. Do you recognize this strongbox, Colonel?
My strongbox? Well, where?
My little Toto is very clever, sir.
Are you trying to tell me your doll stole that from me?
Let us not say stole. I am merely keeping it in custody.
What's the game, Perigi?
The game, as you call it, is blackmail. You give me what I want, and I do not ruin your career.
What do you want?
Information. We already know something from the reports of the War Department concerning a certain strange-looking sphere reported by one of your pilots.
What government do you represent?
I represent Perigis' wonderful dolls, none other.
I am not so naive, sir.
Perhaps I should explain. Each man hides something from the world. Each man loves something more than life. With the help of my wonderful dolls, I obtain personal information which enables me to control the men who control the world.
You're a madman.
A genius. You would be surprised at the list of men who have become the confidants for my dolls.
Do you think you can blackmail me into betraying my country?
If the price is right. And in this case, sir, the price is your career and the lives of your wife and child.
Why are you so interested in the flying spirit?
Let us say for reasons of my own. Well, Colonel?
Hand over the strongbox.
I warn you, I have a gun.
Give it to me.
You are being foolish. Put down that walking stick.
Now.
No closer.
Now. Hello? Give me the police. Hello? Yes, this is Colonel Henry Grayson. I've just killed a man. Yes, Perigis doll shop, corner of 4th and Lexington. The body is in the back room. Yes, I'll wait for you. Shut up. Shut up, you little fiend.
Colonel Grayson.
Did I hear it speak?
Colonel Henry Grayson.
I must be going out of my mind, a 6-inch doll. Shut up! Your master's dead.
You are mistaken, Colonel. I, Toto, am the master.
What do you mean?
If you will examine the body of Santor Perigi, you will see that he does not bleed. And he does not bleed, Colonel, because Santor Perigi never lived.
Never lived?
Santor Perigi is a doll.
A doll? But that's impossible. He's a man. He talks. He walks.
The people of Meritrix are skillful doll builders.
People of Meritrix doll, but... Look, who are you?
I am Xanthus Imperator, commander of the legions of the 3rd planetoid, Meritrix.
Legions? Planetoid?
My people and I, whom you regard as dolls, come from a tiny planet beyond the moon, so small that it cannot support our population. We landed one of our space spheres on Earth 3 months ago with the intention of colonizing. Unfortunately, one of your pilots intercepted us.
So that's why you wanted our information.
Precisely.
Are you human?
Oh, quite human. Of course, in order to deal with Earth people without suspicion, we were forced to construct Perigi, a man-sized doll.
Well, I can't believe this. I'm having hallucinations. I'm going to get out of here.
Oh, that would be impossible. We have weapons of destruction quite unknown to Earth people.
Now, I phoned the police, and they'll be here soon.
By the time they arrive, my people will have prepared something quite shocking.
Cover him, Ryan.
Okay, Sarge.
You the guy who turned in the call?
Yes.
Where's the body?
Well, it isn't exactly a body.
What do you mean?
It's a doll.
A what?
Well, you've got to let me explain. Now, this sounds fantastic, but I've stumbled onto an unbelievable plot to control the world.
Keep talking.
Now, these little dolls, they aren't really dolls. They're tiny people. There's a big doll named Santo Perigi, and he runs this shop.
Holy smokes.
He's off his trolley, Sarge.
Listen, mister, we got a call that there was a murder here. Now, if there was one, where's the body?
Behind those curtains in the back. Only it isn't really a body, you see.
What?
I hear something back there, Sarge.
All right, cover those curtains. You, is anyone back there? Come on out. Come out or we'll come in and get you.
Something's coming. The curtain's opening.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Perigi. Well, this is impossible. I smashed his skull.
You know this guy?
Yes, that's the one. That's the doll.
What's your name, mister?
Perigi. Santo Perigi, creator of the Universal Doll.
You ever see this man?
Never until just now.
What? Well, he's lying. I tell you, he's nothing but a life-size doll. The real masters are these little dolls.
Ryan, are you getting this?
He's wacko, Sarge. Nutty as a fruit.
Look, I'm not crazy, I tell you. I can prove it. They must have fixed up his head when I smashed it in. Touch him, you'll see.
Mr. Perigi, you know what the guy is talking about.
The man is demented, obviously.
Look, I tell you, there's a plot to control the Earth. Listen, you've got to let me call the War Department. They'll want to know about the flying sphere.
Holy mackerel, this gets worse every minute. Ryan.
Take him to headquarters?
Save some time. Take him down to the psycho ward.
Okay, Buck Rogers.
Look,
I'm along nice and quiet.
Look, you've got to listen to me. Don't you see the future of mankind is at stake?
Sure. I know how it is.
Look, he's nothing but a man-sized doll. Touch him.
And the little ones are going to take over the Earth. I know. I had the DTs once. Okay, Sarge. We'll see you later.
Please.
Come along.
Please,
now.
listen to me. You've got to listen to me.
Sorry to cause all this trouble, Mr. Perigi.
Not at all, sir. Not at all.
Well, I'll be. Well, nah, that ain't the cutest little doll. Say, my little girl will be nuts for that.
Perhaps you will accept it as a gift.
Well, now.
For saving my life. That madman might have killed me. No home is really complete without one of Perigis' wonderful dolls, Sergeant. Is that right, Toto?
Yes, but I
would like in some way to show my gratitude. You will be doing me a favor if you will take the doll home to your little daughter.
Say, this ought to make her the happiest girl in the world.
Yes, Toto will come as a great surprise. A very great surprise. Won't it, Toto?
Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Perigis' Wonderful Dolls, written by George Lefferts. Heard in the cast were Janet Alexander as Cindy, Ann Petoniak as Alma, Nelson Armstead as Henry, Joe DeSantis as Perigi, Michael O'Day as Toto, Ken Lynch as the Sergeant, and Frank Milano as Ryan. This is Fred Collins speaking. X-1 was directed by Fred Way and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Tonight's story concludes the present series of stories of the world of the future. If you'd like to hear X-1 return to the air at some later date, please drop us a postcard or letter addressed to X-1, care of the National Broadcasting Company, RCA Building, New York.
The last time we saw the Gregory party in Euclidia, that mysterious colony beneath the sea, we found our friends in happier circumstances than they have enjoyed for some time. Jerry and Joan went on a sightseeing tour of one of the mammoth natural caverns under the ocean, one of the giant rooms which have been used by the Euclideans to house their weird city. And there they saw strange sights, not unique and terrifying scientific devices, but natural things, pigs and chickens, green grass and tall trees. The most surprising things possible for this world beneath the water. Their pleasure lasts but a few moments, however, as G-47 takes Jerry away. Mrs. Gregory and Captain Bradford find Joan very worried.
I do not like it, Mother. G-47 may harm Jerry.
Oh, I think not, Joan. He promised we would all be quite safe so long as we remain quietly in Euclidia.
You're right, Pat. We're in no danger unless we try to escape. We're not liable to try that 400 feet below the surface of the ocean.
No, Joan, dear. And let's think about more pleasant things for a moment. You said you and Jerry saw the old skipper.
He is caring for the chickens on the other side of that soundproof wall.
We better not disturb him if he's busy. These Euclideans might not like that.
I think that is the correct attitude, Captain.
Then perhaps we can find our old yacht engineer, McLeod.
He is attending the pigs.
Attending the pigs? I bet the pigs would appreciate that if they could hear how nicely you worded, Joan. But never mind that. I'd like to see Mac for a minute, even if he is busy.
I have no idea where the pigs are to be found. In what manner of place would pigs be likely to congregate?
Oh, my dear. You'll never realize how much good you're doing us until you've lived for some time in our world. Pigs are not usually referred to as congregating, but I suppose that will do.
I am sorry I do not have a larger acquaintance with pigs.
Forget it, Joan. Let's walk around here a while and see what we can see.
All this perfectly natural vegetating is amazing to me.
A mighty good reason for it, if my opinion's any good.
What is that, Captain?
Do you remember when we visited the cloth mill up in the island where they make the Euclidean cloth and seaweed?
To be sure. I conducted you to that room.
Who could forget that place? Where the machines made such a frightful clatter you could hardly hear yourself think.
That's what I'm getting at. When we stumbled into that room, we had been walking without making a sound, opening and closing doors without a sound, riding in noiseless elevators. Then all at once a terrific din struck our ears. It was all done for a good reason.
Precisely, Captain Bedford. As you so promptly surmised at the time, those machines were deliberately made noisy to aid the Euclideans in retaining their normal sense of hearing.
Well, I'm sorry to have been so stupid about this, but I'm finally getting the idea. All of this naturalness, cows, trees, noise when we walk, all of these things are kept here in their natural state so that the Euclideans will remember how to behave when their time comes to go out into our world.
I am glad we will be allowed to see things as they are in your world. All of my life, until you came, was spent up in the island, and there everything was artificial. Even our food was strange in comparison to what I now know as normal food.
I think this atmosphere is good for all of us, Joan. We can keep up our spirits a lot easier among things we understand.
Yeah, that's all right, but let's not forget that these Euclideans are just as dangerous and just as watchful in this weird undersea city as they were on the island.
I would like very much to explore some of the other large caverns.
The others?
Are there others, Joan?
Yes, the submarine commander explained to Jerry and me that this is only one of 13 such chambers.
Do you know what is in those other caves?
No, Mother.
Let's go and find out.
I would enjoy that, but I do not want to leave Jerry here.
We're certainly not getting anywhere this way.
Don't be too sure of that. We're on one of those noiseless steel runways now.
So we are, and I believe it leads upward.
Well, let's take a chance and go up on it. Perhaps we can come out on that balcony again. And this time we'll watch everything that's to be seen and plan our tour.
Hello there. Pat, did you hear that?
Well, I did hear something.
Perhaps Jerry is calling us.
Jerry never saw the day he could make a noise like that.
Hi, over there. Hello.
Tex, that sounds like McLeod.
That's who it is, and he's coming this way.
Is this gentleman the engineer from your yacht, Mother?
Yes, dear. And poor Mac has been down here ever since we first found the island, I suppose.
Hi, there you be, Mrs. Gregory, and Captain Bradford.
Hello, Mac.
Oh, I'm glad to see that you're alive and well, Mac.
How do you do?
And how do you do, my lassie? You're as beautiful as your mother, and heretofore I had no thought that possible.
Well, thank you, Mac. I see you're diplomatic as ever.
More so, Mrs. Gregory. I've got a bit of a job here now that requires no little diplomacy.
I thought you had something to do with pigs now, Mac.
Pigs they are, and a fine task it is to handle them. But even so, it's no on the easy side compared to marine motors.
What did I tell you about the old skipper, Mother? Now you can see that Mr. McLeod likes his pigs better than he did your yacht.
Why, Mac, that's treason.
If that good treason, make the most of it. I never want to leave this place again.
Mac, you're not serious about this thing. You wouldn't actually stay here through choice.
I would that, Everything is perfect here. Even the sunlight is regulated properly, so my pigs get a right amount of it every day.
I was trying to explain that to Jerry.
Sunlight? What do you mean, Mac?
The artificial sunlight we use here in the domestic animal sector. Ultraviolet light is something like it, but this is better.
Well, how is it different and better?
I cannot explain it to you, Captain. But G47 will if you ask him. And now I must get along to my pigs.
Hold on a minute, Mac. I have some questions to ask you.
I'm sorry, but the question will have to wait. I must see about my pigs.
Well, Tex, what do you think of that?
I don't understand it, Pat. And I don't like it. McLeod was one of the best marine engineers who ever held a ticket for all engines and all oceans. And he loved the sea and an outdoor life more than any man I've ever known. Yet he seems content to stay here with the Euclidean pigs.
That's the very thing I'm so afraid of. The thing I've tried to warn you against all along. It's so easy to find things attractive in this sort of life. Yet we know it's wrong. The whole purpose of this hidden colony is wrong. And we must keep ourselves from liking it, no matter what we have to do.
I do not understand you, Mother. This part of Euclidia is exactly like your world.
No, it isn't exactly like our world, Joan. And I think I know what your mother means. This artificial sunlight apparently has the same results as real sunlight. But it isn't real. Oh, nothing here is real.
Did you say nothing?
Oh.
Well, where did you come from?
From whence did the heavens come, or the sea, or the sands of time?
Well, who are you?
I'm called Cheops, the builder.
This is getting back into my ancient history days. I thought they found your tomb in the center of the Great Pyramid.
That was Cheops the First, whom the Egyptians called Khufu, from the building of the first or Great Pyramid 5,000 years ago. The blood of Cheops has come down through the centuries, until now I, Cheops, the builder of Euclidia, stand before you as the architectural wizard of the world.
I'm beginning to understand your position here. In your modest way, you are letting us know that the responsibility for the marvelous construction in this weird colony rests on your shoulders.
No, only a fool would carry a burden on his shoulders. I carry them with my intelligence.
Well, maybe you're right, but there must have been some strong backs and willing shoulders somewhere along the line when all this construction went on.
Now we reach the point which caused me to appear before you. I was studying in my laboratory behind this wall when I heard your careless remark.
If we have been mistaken in the nature of our conversation, the fault is entirely mine, Cheops. My mother and Captain Bradford are not familiar with Euclidean regulations.
Silence, Cleostra.
You needn't shout at her like that, and we need no apologies. What is the reason for appearing out of nothing and giving us your history?
Careful, Pat. You need not warn the lady, Captain Bradford. There is little harm in the desperate prattle of one who is driven to nervous expressions of complete helplessness.
We're not helpless.
Please, Mother, it will avail you nothing.
You have not forgotten your Euclidean training, Cleostra. Now, if you will allow me a period of silence, I will correct your erroneous impression as to the reality of certain things in Euclidia.
We feel that the whole thing is mighty unreal. You'll never change that impression.
You may change a great number of your opinions while you are on Euclidia, my precious captain. You have said that your sunlight was not real.
We know it isn't. Sunlight doesn't penetrate 400 feet of water and the rock and steel roof and walls of these caves.
You see all about you evidence that our sunlight will do everything that can be done with the light and heat of the sun.
Yes, we see that all right. But what will the effect of this artificial light be on future generations? How long can you sustain life under these conditions?
That you must ask Thales, as the production of electrical energy is within his province. However, for your immediate information, Thales has established the fact that this light in which you now stand will prolong the span of human life to well over a century.
Tex, do you suppose that's possible?
Well, we sure can't prove that it isn't possible.
I have heard the scientists speak of experiments along those lines, and they have been most successful.
Precisely. As for the reality of the construction around you, these arches, palaces, bridges, and walls, which I have designed and created, will retain their present form and usefulness for a period of 50,000 years.
50,000 years?
How can you prove that?
You are a man of science, are you not, Captain Bradford?
Well, I thought I was until I came here.
At least you will recognize the value of one of my construction materials. I have unearthed the greatest secret of the ancient engineers. I have tempered copper.
Tempered copper?
But scientists have been trying that for thousands of years, and they've all failed miserably.
You will enter my laboratory. I wish you to see a little experiment with the tempered copper. Enter.
And just as easy as that, the door is open for us.
I suppose the plain wooden floor is for the usual purpose of keeping in tune with the normal things in our world.
Precisely. You, Mrs. Gregory, will stand there. You there, Cleostra. Now, Captain Bradford, will you step over here with me?
That's a sheet of copper foil you have there, isn't it?
No. Foil is much heavier. This sheet of copper leaf is 1/10,000th of 1 inch in thickness.
Well, that's getting it thin, all right.
But how can you temper a sheet of copper so thin it's practically transparent?
The secret of the ages must remain my secret. Now, Captain, I have mounted a similar square of copper leaf in this heavy wooden frame. I will place the frame on these 2 supports. So, and ask you to feel that copper.
Why, it's so delicate that it quivers under the touch.
Precisely. Now will you be so good as to stand on it?
Stand on it? Stand on that sheet of copper, which is so thin you can see through it?
Precisely. Stand on it.
Okay, but don't blame me when I fall through.
Mother, the captain is standing on it.
Tex, it's not real. You're not actually standing on that sheet of copper.
Yes, I am. I'm standing right in the middle of a sheet of copper 1 yard square and 1/10,000th of an inch thick. And it doesn't even quiver.
Perhaps you will realize, after this little demonstration, that Euclidia is a very real place. And before you attempt to dispute any statement of mine in the future, it would be well for you to remember that my knowledge is as old as the pyramids and as new as tomorrow.
When the Gregory party was allowed the freedom of the strange underwater colony known as Euclidia, their first view was of an immense cave or cavern, 1 mile in width and half a mile high. The most surprising thing about this cavern is the naturalness of everything. Tall trees and green grass, growing just as they do in the everyday world, while cows, pigs, and chickens make the weird surroundings almost natural. This can't go on forever on Euclidia, and our friends soon feel more as they did on their first visit to the island. Jerry is taken away for a conference with G47, and Mrs. Gregory, her daughter Joan, and Captain Bradford are taken to witness an experiment in the laboratory of Cheops, the builder. The captain is speaking as they stand outside this room.
It doesn't matter what we've seen on this place before. There's always something more surprising waiting for us.
You were impressed, were you not, Captain, with Cheops' demonstration of the tempered copper?
I should think that anyone would be impressed, my dear.
Yes, Joan, the art of tempering copper was lost somewhere, along with a lot of other wonderful things those old Egyptians had done. And ever since that time, men have been trying to find the secret.
Even his name seems unnatural. Cheops, whom the Egyptians called Khufu. I can almost imagine this man standing by the newly completed Great Pyramid, proudly looking at his handiwork.
You allow your imagination too much scope, Mother. This man has merely taken the name of Cheops, as he is the master builder of Euclidia.
We know that, Joan, but at the same time, it's more than a coincidence. This man should have taken the secrets of the ancient builder along with his name.
I've seen enough of this for a while. Let's walk around this passageway and try to find some more natural things to look at. The sight of you standing on that thin sheet of copper as solidly as you might have stood on a concrete foundation was a little too much for me.
It was indeed remarkable. That copper was so thin that it seemed almost to float in the air. Yet when the edges of it were firmly held, it supported your weight.
I wish Jerry could have seen that.
He's probably seeing plenty where he is now.
I wonder what G47 will do to him.
He will not harm Jerry, I think.
Possibly not, but I wish he were here with us.
Okay, here I am.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry, you startled me.
Well, you're getting to be a regular Euclidean, son. Where did you come from?
Oh, through one of those noiseless steel panels, just like the rest of the Euclideans do it.
The rest of the Euclideans?
Oh, sure. My dad always said, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I'm going to try it on Euclidean.
Well, it works all right, but we haven't quite accustomed ourselves to these poppings in and out of doors.
I do not like the thought of you being a Euclidean, Jerry.
Oh, what's wrong with that? You were one for a long time, and you thought it was all right.
This is different. You are so much a part of your world. You would not be convincing as a member of this colony.
Nevertheless, Joan, it looks as if we're all going to be members, whether we want to or not.
It sure does. And it looks like it more than ever now.
What's happened now, Jerry?
Well, nothing much has happened that we didn't figure was going to happen. But old G47 made it mighty plain to me that from now on, we're going to do just exactly what these Euclideans tell us to do.
Did he threaten you?
No, he just talked to me. You know him. The old guy's a pretty interesting talker when he isn't trying to scare you.
What did you learn?
Well, we're all got to go to work.
Work?
Yeah.
What sort of work?
Oh, we can take our choice about that. But we've all got to do something around this underwater city. G47 said that everybody works here, and we'd have to do the same thing.
Did he not indicate the type of employment which was to be delegated to each of us?
No, he didn't tell me what our jobs would be either.
Jerry, you understood me perfectly.
Now, hold it, you two. Let's don't fight yet.
No, please. We must keep our minds on the possible meaning of Jerry's news until we decide what steps to take.
Was any particular qualification given you, Jerry? I mean, did G47 mention what services we might be required to give?
No, not much. I try to get a job with the cows. Well, I know how to milk a cow, and I'd like to stay in this room where all the green grass and the trees are. But nothing doing.
I imagine that job is filled long ago. They've been using milk from these cows for a long time.
Yeah, and they've got automatic milkers, too. But it needs somebody to watch them all the time. And guess who's got that swell job?
Well, it couldn't be McLeod. He's waiting on the pigs.
And the old skipper's gathering the eggs from the chicken.
That exhausts the personnel of our party, Jerry. It could not be anyone you would know.
Oh, is that so? Well, it is. The new milkman who watches the machines milk the cows is Jim Lowe.
Jim Lowe?
Jerry, not the Chinese cook from our own boat.
Yep, the Chinese cook's got the job.
Does he understand his duties?
The nearest that Chinese ever got to a cow was opening a can of condensed milk.
Yes, he has the job. What a place this is. Are we to choose our occupations and report, or what is our procedure, Jerry?
Well, we can go around and pick out our own jobs after we watch the eruption.
Eruption? Of what?
Well, the volcano.
Jerry, you mean the crater where the island of Euclidia is located?
Yeah, well, I guess it must be there.
There's going to be an eruption of that old volcano.
That's what G47 is getting ready for. He said we could go up to the top of this room and watch it through the transparent seawall.
How far are we from the base of that crater?
I think not more than 200 feet, Captain.
Then we're not going to watch the eruptions if we can help it.
There's more to this, isn't there, Jerry?
Well, sure there is, if you'll all give me a chance to tell it.
You wasted time discussing our future occupation.
Yes, and if that volcano thing is on the level, we may not need any future occupation.
Well, that eruption is going to be artificial, and G47 is going to pull a switch that sets it off.
An artificial eruption that will create a disturbance on the surface. There must be a good reason for that.
There is.
I should think so. That'll destroy the island.
Oh, no, it won't. You see, they pulled the island way down into the bottom of the crater. It won't get hurt a bit.
Did G47 tell you all of this, Jerry?
Yeah, and he told me a whole lot more. But we'd better be getting up there if we want to see this.
All right, son. You can discuss as we go along. Come on, Pat and Joan. Do we go up this way, Jerry?
Yeah, right up this twisting runway. I guess it comes out in some sort of a transparent walled room from what old G47 said.
Well, what's it all about?
Well, they're going to set off a lot of inflammable bombs. There's a lot of ships cruising around over here, taking soundings and trying to locate the island.
What ships, Jerry?
Well, they wouldn't tell me that. But I got an idea there are boats from more than one country that's rushed down here to try to save us.
And now they'll never know we're here underwater.
I guess that's about the size of it, Pat. When they take all the soundings they want, they'll find nothing but the crater of an extinct volcano in a submerged mountain.
And those bombs exploding will create the impression the volcano is active again.
Then all those ships will be driven away, thinking we have all been lost at sea.
Well, what's worse than that? Everybody will think we didn't know what we were talking about.
Yes, Jerry, I understand. There isn't any island at the position we gave.
There sure isn't. At least not where they'll be looking for it. Well, I'm sorry, folks, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if those ships up there represent our last chance to communicate with the outside world.
If there were only some way to warn them, to let them show that we are down here, 400 feet below the water level, and that the island is submerged beneath the base of the crater over 200 feet below the surface.
Well, if we could get our hands on a radio set out of some kind, I'd take a chance and send a message out.
And you know perfectly well that you will never be allowed to approach anything that resembles a method of communication.
It would not be natural to allow us to send messages which would expose the secrets of the Euclideans.
You're right enough about that, Joan. The thing I feel the worst about is that the news will be flashed all over the world that we were all wrong, that the Magic Island never existed, that the position we gave is really an active submarine volcano.
Well, there's plenty of people who have sailed over here before. Well, they know there wasn't any volcano here then.
That makes it worse, Jerry. It will bring them to the conclusion that an island possibly existed, but that the volcanic eruption has destroyed the island and probably taken us with it.
That is logical, Mother. Though surely some of the charts of this locality must show the existence of the submerged mountain we are now inside of.
Afraid not, Joan. Euclidean and its magnetism have been around here too long. All the charts of this position are wrong. The mountain isn't shown on any of them.
Well, we can't help it now, so we might as well watch what goes on. I guess this is the door we go through.
It is at least the end of the passageway.
Careful, Jerry. That may be the wrong door.
No, G47 said to come up to the top of this runway and to open the door. This is the only thing I can see that looks like a door.
Do you think this must be the one he meant? Well, go ahead, Jerry.
No, I'm trying to, but it doesn't want to open. No, nothing doing.
You should not have to pound on the door, Jerry. If we were supposed to enter here, the door would open easily.
Joan's right. There's a mistake someplace.
Well, let's forget about it. I'd feel safer if we weren't any too close to this wall when those explosions take place.
Well, looks like we can't get in here, so we might as well go back down. Those Euclideans are going to watch this thing from somewhere. And if we can find that place, we can watch it too.
We have not much time, have we?
Well, G47 didn't say how soon they were going to start manufacturing this eruption. But the way he hurried me out of his room gave me the idea it would be pretty soon.
Well, then let's go back down. We passed several panels that look like doors on our way up here. Maybe some of them can be opened.
I'd just as soon not open any doors. After all, the ocean is on the other side of this wall.
Quiet. What was that sound?
It sounded like an earthquake to me.
The bombs. I'll bet they've started them.
Yes, there's another one. Tex, I felt this steel wall quiver.
Now, Pat.
Well, I did. Can't you feel the floor trembling?
Yeah, I can. This isn't so good. Come on.
I believe it is time to leave this place.
Maybe so, but there must be someone around here watching this eruption. I'd like to see how they do it.
Oh, Tex, please, come along.
Oh, very well, Pat, but there isn't any danger. These Euclideans built things too well for that.
It is possible, however, that they have not anticipated the stress and strain accompanying these explosions.
Oh, sure they have. G47 told me he had the idea of using fake explosions in that old volcano for protection long before these walls were built.
Well, whatever it is, we're in danger. That noise is steadily increasing.
Hurry, you fools.
G47, what's happening?
These chambers are to be flooded.
Flooded?
Oh, I felt something was wrong.
But G47, did you not tell Jerry to bring us up here?
Will you hurry out of here? No. I told Hall to take you to the top of the other passageway. This is a pressure channel. We must fill it with water to withstand the pressure of these explosions. Otherwise, Euclidia will be flooded, and you stupid fools will have the lives of everyone here in danger.
Gee, I'm sorry I made a mistake.
You certainly made a big one.
Do not blame Jerry. This would confuse anyone.
I certainly couldn't tell one passageway from another.
Silence, you stupid fools. Go, hurry. Take yourselves down this incline as rapidly as possible. Go.
But what about you, G47?
Go.
Come on, everybody. We'd better move faster than this.
G47 has gone back into that upper chamber.
What if he's caught in there and can't get out?
I guess he's too smart for that.
G47 would think only of saving the colony. He would make no effort to save his own life.
He's just like that, all right.
You three going down this ramp. I'll go back and see if I can help you.
No, Tex, don't be foolish. Why should you try to save that man's life?
Our lives wouldn't be worth much without him.
You are right, Captain. All of our lives depend on G47.
You're too late now. Run, everybody. That wall's going to cave in. Come on. Let's get out of here.
Many of the colonies of this planet here have been founded and built by misfits, rebels, rejects from their own societies, the transported criminals. And they've made good men in those new frontiers. But not all men are good men in a bad spot. When you open a new area, whether it's a new planet or a new continent, it takes tough men, men of strength and determination. Among the men of that type in any culture, many are rebels. They turn up in the criminal courts. Such men make fine colonists. But not all rebels are colonists, builders. A lot of them are just plain, lazy, sick-souled criminals. Now, Mars is a cold planet. It's nearly 50 million miles further from the sun than Earth. It gets proportionately less heat. Its air is thin and low in oxygen. Its water is scarce. It's not an easy place to live. Some men will live in unpleasant places by choice because they have this pioneering spirit or a sense of adventure. Other men have very little choice at all. When Robert Black was found guilty of the crime of armed robbery, the court gave him the usual choice: 15 years in prison or a permanent exile to Mars. The judge asked him which he preferred.
I'll take Mars.
It was so ordered.
All right, Harrington, I'll see Robert Black now. Morning, Mr. Jenner.
What is it this time, Black? In trouble with the mine foreman again?
No, not this time, but if he keeps pushing...
Don't start that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jenner.
Now, look, Black, I'm supposed to be the colonial administrator here. Remember, I have work to do. Now, what's on your mind?
I want to go home.
Now, you're certainly welcome to. You know where your dormitory room is. Go ahead and go home. Why bother me with it?
Oh, you know what I mean. I want to go back to Earth.
Earth? That's impossible, and you know it. You made your choice 10 years ago. You wanted to be a free colonist instead of a prisoner, and you got what you wanted.
Free? You call this free? I work my hands off clear to the elbows in those freezing coal mines. I work 8-10 hours a day for what? For a few lousy bucks? And where can I spend it? No place. I'd rather be in jail.
No place to spend it. You seem to do a pretty good job getting rid of your paycheck in the bars in Marsport.
Why not? What else is there to do with it?
Black, a lot of men in your position have done something with it. They saved their money and bought a little pressure dome of their own. They got married and had kids and tried to make Marsport into a real city instead of drinking up every cent they've made.
Me get married? It's a laugh. None of the dames on Mars have anything to do with it, Con.
Oh, you mean they won't have anything to do with you personally, don't you? Other convicts have done something with themselves here, but you haven't, and you never will. You know why?
You tell me.
Because you can't change your way of thinking. You had to come here because you couldn't keep out of trouble, and you've made trouble for yourself and everybody else since you came. Drunken brawls, arguments with your foreman, everything. Someday you'll get in a real jam.
Now, look, Mr. Jenner, I try to get along. Honest, I do. I just don't like being pushed, that's all.
Oh, sure. Everybody picks on you.
Mr. Jenner, I just can't take Mars anymore. Look at my fingers. They're always cold. My feet are always cold. I haven't been warm for 1 minute in the last 10 years. They can't heat up the mines even because the stinking little planet's cold all the way through.
Well, what do you want me to do? Move Mars closer to the sun just to please you?
Look, Mr. Jenner, please, I'm serious. Send me back to Earth. I'll spend the rest of my time in prison there. I won't care just so long as it's on Earth where it's warm.
I just can't do that, Black. You had your chance to make your choice 10 years ago, and you made it. Neither one of us can change that.
Yeah, but it ain't fair. I'd have just 5 more years to do time if I'd taken a 15-year sentence, then I'd be free. The way it is, I gotta spend the rest of my life here. That ain't fair.
I couldn't send you back if I wanted to. I'm just a civil service appointee, not a judge of the court. If you want to spend 5 years in jail, I can accommodate you right here on Mars. But I can't send you back to Earth. And that's final.
But, Mr. Jenner...
That's all, Black. Unless you have something else to see me about, please go. I'm busy.
Look. All right, if that's the way you're going to be.
That's the way I'm going to be. Goodbye, Black.
Goodbye.
many men who can't take no for an answer. But they don't all have that characteristic in quite the same way. The pioneer, the scientist, these are men who can't take no for an answer, and they plow their way through to an answer that works. But not all men are of that type.
Bartender, give me another beer. Woman always riding me. Jenner, that big shot. White guy. Sure, he don't worry about somebody freezing to death on his ball of ice. Not him. He can go home when he wants to. Who's this sharpie?
Hey, give me a glass of beer, bartender.
Space Service uniform. Wonder what he's doing in a cheap joint like this. Those guys usually have money to burn.
Boy, this beer's sure flat.
It's this low pressure does it. Takes all the fizz out of it.
Oh, is that so? Well, at least it's cold enough, huh?
Oh, yeah, everything's cold on Mars. You, been to service long?
3 years. This is my first Mars run. Thought I'd take a look at Mars Port while they service my ship.
Your ship? You don't hardly look old enough to be the skipper of a spaceship.
That's what they all tell me. I may not be as old as you, old-timer, but it's still my ship.
Old-timer, right away he starts riding the guy right off the bat. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, a young fellow like you with a crew of 10 under you.
Oh, no. Just the two of us, me and my navigator. We're giving the Skyfire its test run.
Oh, how can two men handle a spaceship?
Hey, look, don't you watch the newscast, mister? Skyfire is one of the new models with the Markheim drive. Fastest spaceship ever built.
I guess I'm a little behind the times. New drive, huh?
That's right. Hottest little thing in the sky.
Must not be as complicated as the old jobs if just two guys can run it.
Well, I hate to admit it, but it doesn't take much training to run one. A baby could do it.
Oh, man. Things sure have changed since the last time I was on a ship.
Is that so? Now, how long has that been?
10 years. Been here on Mars for 10 years.
Yeah? Are you, are you...
Convict? Oh, no. I come here my own free will. Got the old pioneer blood in me, I guess. But, we don't usually talk about it very much. You know, out here, one fellow's as good as the next one if he behaves himself.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, I guess. 10 years. Well, I guess you've been here long enough to get used to this light gravity, huh?
Sure. Don't even notice it anymore.
The trouble with being in the space service is that you never get used to any particular gravity. It might be 10 G's 1 minute and 0 the next. But you even get used to that eventually.
I imagine you would. My name's Bob Black.
Oh, I'm pleased to meet you. Mine's Carson, Peter Carson.
Hi. You going to be here long?
Oh, a couple of days. Skyfire will be ready to go in an hour or so, but my navigator's in the hospital for checkup. Twisted his ankle getting off the ship.
Oh, that's too bad. Hey, can I buy you a beer? We're both in.
Sure, thanks.
Bartender, 2 more here.
Say, if you've been here 10 years, you must know Marsport pretty well, huh?
Yeah, pretty well.
Well, look, there must be livelier places than this. Maybe you could tell me where to find a little excitement.
Sure. I know a couple of places. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take you there myself.
Good enough. Come on, let's get out of here. We got far to go?
No, about a quarter of a mile.
Let's take a cab, then. I don't feel like walking that far in this cold wearing an oxygen mask.
Sure, we can pick one up.
Oh, my head.
Yeah, kid, you really hung one on last night.
Oh. Hey, where am I?
Open your eyes and look around. This ain't the good chip lollipop.
Hey, we're aboard the Skyfire. Hey, you're not supposed to be here. How'd you get through the guards at the gate?
Well, it wasn't easy, pal, but you helped. Now, you just lean back and relax. You're in no condition to try anything funny.
Hey, that's my gun you got there.
That's right. Earth. Beautiful, green, sunshiny, warm Earth. I'm sick and tired of this freezing hellhole. You're going to take me home, buddy.
Colonial Administration, Jenner speaking.
Mr. Jenner, this is Colonel O'Neill, Space Service.
Oh, yes, Colonel. What can I do for you?
Well, something pretty serious has come up. Would you check your records on a man named Black? Robert Black?
Well, I might not need to check them. I know the man personally. What's he done now?
Well, I take it then you wouldn't be surprised if you were in trouble.
Not in the least. Why? What happened?
One of our spaceships was stolen early this morning.
What? Well, how could a man steal a spaceship?
A man couldn't steal one of the old kind, But this is a radically new type, small, compact, and easy to operate. Be almost as easy as stealing a car.
And you think Black had something to do with it?
Looks like it. He was the last one seen with Peter Carson, and his fingerprints are on the ladder to the takeoff pit. We're questioning the guards now, but it looks as if Carson and Black took off in the Skyfire together.
Incredible. Who is Peter Carson, by the way?
One of our young trainees. Very bright, but just a kid.
Oh?
Got a funny streak in him, though. The psychologist should never have passed it. Still, I never thought he'd do anything like this.
What do you mean? What's wrong with him?
Well, he's a bit of a braggart. Likes to claim he's something he's not. I'm no psychologist, but I'd say that he's a compulsive liar.
And the two of them stole a spaceship. Well, they ought to make a fine pair.
Now, tell me, can Black navigate and operate a spaceship?
Of course not. The only trip he ever made was 10 years ago when the court sent him here. He doesn't know how to operate a spaceship.
Then they'll make a fine pair, all right.
How's that?
Neither does Carson.
Criminal in jail is more or less forced to admit that he did make some kind of a mistake. Curious thing is, if you ask such a man what mistake he made, he'd have to say something like, well, you see, I didn't see that cop that was hiding down there in the doorway. He views it as a mistake in procedure. He doesn't recognize that he was fundamentally wrong in trying to make a living that way.
Sure outsmarted old smart boy Jenner. Goes to show you, kid, you can't keep a good man down.
Yeah, sure.
2 hours, I'll be back home again. Back to nice, warm, comfortable Earth.
Black, I'm scared we're going to crack
Ah, shut up. You still trying to give me that phony line?
I tell you, Black, I don't know anything about spaceships.
Oh, give me that, will you? We took off okay, didn't we? We're on course, aren't we? And you did all the plotting and the piloting, didn't you?
I swear all I know is what I read in the textbooks of the Academy. And I watched the captain take the ship to Mars. Any fool can take a spaceship off the ground, but it takes a trained pilot to land
You've
one.
been giving me that stuff ever since we started. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe it.
Please, Black, before it's too late, let me get on that radio and call the space service. They can get a ship up here.
Shut up. That's what you like, ain't it? Get the space service up here? I see through your dodge, and I'm not buying it. I don't mind getting caught on Earth because they can't deport me twice. They'll put me in a nice warm cell. But they're not going to nab me up here and send me back to that frigid hell I just left, you understand?
Yeah, listen.
Shut up, I said. I read over the pilot's manual. I read over the specifications on this ship. A baby could handle it. Remember? That's what you said. A baby could handle it. And you're right. I can land this thing myself. So don't give me any hooey about you not knowing how.
Please, Black, we haven't got much time.
Shut up.
Please, Black, let me use the radio.
Shut up. All right, now that's better. Now let's get ready to land this crate. We got less than 2 hours.
Gun or no gun, I gotta do something.
Sit back down and stay away from that radio.
I'm gonna call him. You can't stop
me. Away, I told you. Stupid, crazy little punk. Now I gotta take the ship down by myself. Everything's okay. Just gotta be calm, that's all. Check the time. That's good. Now, according to the radar map, I'm over Wyoming. No town around. Right smack in the middle of nowhere. Good. That means no cops. Now, check the time again. Don't rush it now. Check the instruments. Right. Velocity, direction. All okay. Time, 10 seconds. Back to Earth, boy. Nice, warm, green Earth. No more cold red sand. Time. 5 seconds to cut off. 3, 2, 1. Cut! Hey, we're still falling. I guess I'm okay. Ship didn't fall more than 10 or 15 feet. What's that? Radiation detector. Fall must have broken the shielding around the atomic engine. I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of that airlock and run. This radiation could kill me. It'll kill me if I don't get out. Oh, no. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here or I'll die. I gotta get out and see that good old warm old Earth. I gotta get out.
Colonial Administration, Jenner speaking.
This is Colonel O'Neill, Mr. Jenner. I just got word from Earth that our 2 runaways have been found.
You mean they actually made it to Earth?
Well, it wasn't a good landing. The engines were cut off too soon, and the Skyfire dropped about 15 feet, but that ship's pretty nearly foolproof.
What happened?
Our man Carson has a bullet in him. Doctor says in bad shape, but he'll live.
And Black?
Funny thing. Shot the ship down in a desolate part of Wyoming. The fall shorted the radiation detector, and evidently Black thought the ship was full of radiation. He got out fast, started running, and just kept running until he dropped.
You mean he got away?
Well, he didn't get far. It's January, you know, wintertime in Wyoming. He ran into the teeth of a howling blizzard at sub-zero temperatures.
Yeah?
Froze to death before they could reach him.
Characteristic of a man who wants to do things the quick, easy way, that he doesn't like to take the time and trouble to look up the data as to what's going to happen when he gets there. It would have been easy enough for Black to check and find out that it was winter on Earth. But you see, Mars doesn't have the same seasons Earth does. Mars' year is about twice as long as ours. I guess Black had sort of lost track of what it was like in Wyoming in January.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Yes, it's Superman. Strange visitor from another world who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. But before we join Superman, here is an important message.
Fellows and girls, you know we've been urging you to do your part in helping to win this war by buying war-saving stamps regularly every time you've got a dime. And your response has been most gratifying. And now I want to tell you about something else you can do. Something that's tremendously important to the production of much-needed war materials. And that is the collection of metal and rubber scrap for salvage. All of you have no doubt been told by your teachers in school about the Junior Salvage Army. And I hope you've all joined because, believe me, this job the Junior Salvage Army has to do means a lot to our regular fighting Army and Navy. How can it be so important? Well, let's see if we can't make that clear. Your job as a member of the Junior Salvage Army is to collect everything made of any kind of metal or rubber that is not essential for its owner's use. And that means such things as pieces of iron pipe, old pots and pans, broken bicycles and other metal toys, old tires and tubes, rubber mats, rubber shower curtains, and I could go on listing them for hours. And now let's see how an average pile of this junk can help to win the war. First, we separate the metal from the rubber. Then the rubber is sent to reclaiming factories where it's broken down and remanufactured into tires for airplanes and gun caissons, treads for tanks, and many other things useful to the armed forces. The metals are sent to refineries where the steel is extracted for bayonets and guns and armor plate. The copper is reprocessed and made into cannon shells. The aluminum is used in plane manufacture, and so it goes. All those things that cluttered up closets and attics and cellars are turned into vital war materials. So beginning this Monday, get into this fight like real American soldiers, so that when the Junior Salvage Army collection campaign is over, there won't be a stack of scrap uselessly lying around anywhere. Turn in lots of scrap to slap the Japs and the Nazis, too.
And now, the adventures of Superman. Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen are now in Arabia, where Lois mysteriously vanished while they were walking along a crowded street in Mecca. Following a clue, Kent and Jimmy and their newfound friend, a Shakespearean actor who goes by the name of Sir Mycroft Bittersweet, went to an old abandoned mosque or temple near the outskirts of the city. As they approached, Lois was seen standing inside the doorway. Then suddenly she disappeared inside the mosque. It was then that Superman went into action and literally tore the building apart, stone by stone. However, he failed to find her. Resuming his disguise of Clark Kent, Superman returned to the hotel with Jimmy and Sir Mycroft. There, a very strange thing happened. We join them now in the hotel lobby in Mecca. Listen.
Gee, Miss Lane slapped you right across the face, Mr. Kent.
I'm aware of that, Jim.
Oh, forgive me, gentlemen. I don't wish to barge in where I'm not wanted. It's not good form, you know. But are you sure that young woman is your friend, Miss Lane?
Well, if that girl isn't Lois Lane, she's a dead ringer for her.
You know what, Mr. Kent?
What, Jim?
I think we're going crazy. First Miss Lane disappears, then she reappears in that old mosque. Superman tears the building apart and can't find her. Then we come back to this hotel, walk into the lobby, and there's Miss Lane. And then when you talk to her, she slaps your face. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, it's going to. Come on.
I say, now, wait a bit. No going off the deep end. Better stop and think of my
It's going upstairs. I'm going after her again and have this thing out.
The man in the red fez, Mr. Kent. He's gone.
What, you mean the Johnny that was standing over there near the magazine stall?
Yes.
Well, I've seen much in my travels, 22 times around the world, you know, but I must say I've never seen anyone quite so evil-looking in my life.
Oh, please.
Why, say, there goes Kent grabbing hold of that girl's arm again. There's going to be trouble, laddie. Yoicks, and away.
Right with you.
I can't understand you, Lois. What does it all mean? What were you doing in that mosque? How did you get back here?
By Jove, she's trying to shake off his arm. There's going to be a devilish scene. Speaking of scenes, I recall once I was playing Hamlet in Stockholm.
Please, Sir Michael.
Sorry. Very sorry.
Please, stop trying to break away from me. What's come over?
I say, Kent, old chap, let me have a try, won't
Why
you?
don't you just stare at us like that without saying a word? Miss Lane, what in the world?
Little man, let me handle this. Now, dear lady, you're comporting yourself in a most unseemly manner. I'm sure something must have happened to change your attitude toward your erstwhile friends. Oh, dear lady, don't stare at me as if I was something detestable. Speak to me. Confide in me. Do something, dear girl. Do something.
Oh, she did it.
I say, you struck me. Shocking.
Well, there she goes up the stairs again.
Yes, and here comes someone who looks like a house detective if I ever saw one.
I say, what's going on here?
Well, you see, dear boy, we were just
I
having...
see that you three have been annoying that young woman. Now, we won't stand for anything like that around here. Watch your step or out you go.
But you don't understand. We know that girl. She's a friend of ours.
Yes, well, she doesn't act that way.
I know. That's just the trouble. We can't understand what's happened to her. She refused to recognize us. Just stood there without saying a word.
What are you trying to pull, my friend? If you know the Countess as well as you say you do...
The who?
The Countess. Well, you have given yourself away, not even knowing who she is.
Countess who?
The Countess Wojcicka.
What?
She's a Polish refugee, and she's...
Now, wait a minute. That girl is no more a countess than I am. She's Lois Lane, a reporter for the Daily Planet, a newspaper in the United States.
You're either mixed up, friend, or you're playing some game around here that I don't like.
I tell you, that girl is
I think we'd better forget the old thing. But if it happens again, out you go, bag and baggage.
Okay. You see, we won't get anywhere with you. Come on, Jim. Let's get up to our room and try to figure this thing out.
Where's Sir Mycroft?
What? Oh, he was here a minute ago.
Oh, here I am, lady.
Oh, boy. For a minute, I thought you disappeared, too.
Oh, I used to disappear when I was playing the ghost of Hamlet's father. I say, Kent,
yes?
I popped over to have a look at the register. There's a Countess Wojcicka register right enough, room 24. I thought the information might be of some value. You'll never know, what?
Okay, let's get upstairs.
Righto. Strange people, the nobility, and your Duchess once. Remarkable woman. Collected antique furniture. She had a simply devastating Louis XIV table. Oh, extraordinary woman. Had 6 legs.
What? The Duchess had 6 legs?
Oh, no, dear lad. The table, not the Duchess.
Oh.
Our room is right down this corridor, Sir Mycroft. Number 19.
I say it's awfully decent of you to offer to put me up, Kent. Of course, I wouldn't intrude under ordinary circumstances, but since you insisted...
Hey, here's room 24. Didn't you say that was the Countess's room, Sir Mycroft?
Well, Countess or Miss Lois Lane, whichever you choose, dear boy.
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
I've got to find the answer to this. If that girl is Countess Wojcicka, then Lois has a double.
Well, they say that everyone has a double somewhere in the world, you know.
But if that girl isn't Countess Wojcicka, well, then I don't know.
Look here, old Tootle, may I offer a pointer or two?
Yes, of course.
Well, I must say we approached the little lady a bit, shall I say, violently down there in the lobby. Now, if she is really a countess, if Miss Lane does have a double and we made a mistake, then it's hardly any wonder she slapped our faces.
Well, what do you
I was about to suggest that we knock very quietly at her door, introduce ourselves, explain the situation, and then, by Jove, see what happens.
Sounds like a good idea.
We can't lose anything trying it. All right, here goes.
Yes? What is it?
Jumping Jiminy. It's the guy in the red fez.
By Jove, so it is.
Come in, gentlemen, come in. I believe we have met before. You are the young man who stepped on my foot in the street this afternoon.
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
We understand that this room belongs to a certain Countess Wojcicka.
Countess Wojcicka. I'm afraid I have never heard of the lady. You've made a mistake, I am sure.
Mistake, sir? Never make mistakes, by Jove. That's the number on the register downstairs.
You must have misread.
I never gave a misreading in my life. I'll have you know I'm an actor, sir. Memorize it sight.
I am very sorry. You have made a mistake. There is no countess, no one beside myself in this apartment.
I see. Well, I'm sorry. I guess we have made a mistake. Thanks very much.
You're quite welcome. Dastaruk, Effendi.
Come, Jim. To Mycroft.
What do you make of that?
There's a good deal of hugger-mugger going on here.
Are you sure that register said room 24?
Positive. Positive, by Jove. Of course, I can pop downstairs and have another look at the bloody thing if you like.
No, don't bother. Let's get to our own room.
Very well.
I have time to think.
Golly, Mr. Kent, this thing gets more and more complicated. If that is the Countess Wojcicka's room, then what in the world is Mr. Red Fez doing in there?
Not me, Jim. I can't fathom it either.
Oh, leave it to me, lads. By Jove, I'll solve this riddle for you.
You, Sir Mycroft?
Oh, but certainly, my lad. 27 times around the world in my capacity as interpreter of Shakespeare.
Just how many times have you been around the world?
Oh, so many I can't remember, really. Have the same trouble with that as I have with my name, you know. Can't remember my real name either at all. Is this your room, Kent?
Yes. There we are. Come on in.
Righto. Oh, your hospitality, Kent, is... Well, by Jove, I don't know how I can thank you. I don't really.
Forget it. Just make yourself at home. Great Scott.
Mr. Kent, what... Jumping Jiminy.
I say, I didn't know you had a young woman with you here. Who is that little lady asleep in the chair there? I say, it looks like... Don't tell me it is.
By heaven, it is. It's Lois.
Sitting in an easy chair, fast asleep.
She's sitting in that chair, Jim, but she's not asleep. She's unconscious.
Golly.
Oh, by Geoffrey, I'm out of my depth, really. Over my head and all that. Is this really Miss Lane or the Countess Wojcicka?
Lois, I'm sure. At any rate, she's wearing the same clothes Lois wore earlier in the day. Lois, can you hear me?
By Jove, sir, there's no more life in her than there was in the ghost of Hamlet's father.
We've got to bring her to. She's the only one who can solve this mystery for us and solve it fast. Get some water, Jim.
Oh, you bet.
Oh, poor girl. Kent, I trust she's not badly hurt.
Oh, I don't think so, Sir Mycroft. There's a lump on her head. She was evidently slugged.
Oh.
I think she'll be all right, though, once we manage to bring her to.
Oh, this whole jolly business is really the most amazing, I mean to say fantastic, weird, what?
Yes. Water.
Okay, now let's see if we can snap her out of it. There now. Lois, can you hear me? Oh, come on, Lois. Snap out of it. Snap out of it.
It seems to be in a pretty bad way, doesn't it?
Something tells me we better get a doctor. Jim, call the desk.
Okay.
Lois, can you hear me? Lois.
She doesn't respond at all. Probably needs a stimulant or something of the sort. I recall once when I was playing Macbeth. Harrowing play, I must say.
Listen.
Yes, Kent?
That bird in the red fez has something to do with all this. A doctor on his way, Jim?
Yes.
Then I'm going back to room 24 and have it out with our Oriental friend. This game has gone far enough.
I'll go with you.
All right. You'd better stay here, Sir Mycroft, and keep an eye on Lois.
Oh, come on, me old boy. I shall guard her with me very life.
Good. Come on, Jim.
You really think he's behind all this?
I'm sure of it. He's going to tell me all about it if I have to beat it out of him.
Gosh, you're sort of a different person when you get mad.
Huh?
Even your voice gets deeper.
Oh, that. I'm a little hoarse. Well, never mind. Here's room 24. All right, come on, Jim. All right, you, I want to have a talk with you.
Jumping Jiminy. Do you see what I see?
Yes, Jim, I do, but I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
Well, what has happened now? What have Kent and Jimmy seen in the room of the man with the red fez? To find out, be sure to hear Monday's thrill-packed episode and listen every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station. Tune in and follow the adventures of Superman.
Yes, don't forget to be with us again on Monday for another thrilling episode in the adventures of Superman. And don't forget what else you've got to do beginning next week. Remember the importance of the salvage drive starting on Monday. Don't forget that every old pail or pot or bed spring or anything made of metal or rubber can and will be used to make war materials for our fighting forces. For instance, one battered old water pail contains enough scrap steel to make 3 bayonets. One broken-down lawnmower provides enough scrap steel to make 6 3-inch shells for our fighting Navy, and 1 old copper tea kettle can be turned into 84 rounds of ammunition for an automatic rifle. So join the Junior Salvage Army in your neighborhood at once. Get into the scrap by digging up scrap to help America to win this war.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Superman! Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from another world who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. But before we join Superman, here is an important message.
Fellas and girls, don't ever get the idea there's nothing you can do to help win this war. Just because you can't join the Army or Navy doesn't mean that you can't be part of this big fight to preserve the American way of life. No, sir, not at all. There is one big important thing you can do, and I'm going to tell you about that right now. You see, aside from the fact that we can't all be soldiers, sailors, or Marines, because we're too young or too old or something, it's necessary for a good many of us to stay right here where we are. As a matter of fact, Uncle Sam says that for every man in the armed forces, there must be 11 people back home to keep them well supplied and to see that everything runs smoothly. It's sort of like a civilian army that cooperates with the armed forces to help win this war. And that's where you come in, you and I, for we're all members of this civilian army. And the best way we can help our boys at the front is to buy war-saving stamps and bonds and buy them regularly. Now, how does that help? Well, let me tell you. It helps our government to finance the war. It helps to buy the guns and tanks and planes and all the other things the Army, Navy, and Marines need to knock out the Japs and the Nazis. For instance, every time you buy a 10-cent war-saving stamp, your dime will pay for 5 bullets. And every 5 10-cent stamps buys enough fuel oil to carry a destroyer a full mile. So you see how important it is for you to buy a war-saving stamp every time you've got a dime. So see if you can't get Mother or Dad to give you a dime every day or every other day with which to buy war-saving stamps. Talk about this with all your friends. Ask them to buy war-saving stamps regularly. Ask your mother and dad and all your neighbors and relatives to sign Minuteman pledges. Do all you possibly can to build up the sale of war-saving stamps and bonds. And that is what you can do to help win this war.
And now, the adventures of Superman. Superman, in his disguise of Clark Kent, Lois Lane, girl reporter, and Jimmy Olsen, Kent's young friend, are now in Arabia, where Lois vanished in a crowded street in Mecca. Later, the girl reporter appeared in the doorway of an old and abandoned mosque and promptly disappeared again. Returning to their hotel, Kent and Jimmy and their newfound friend, Sir Mycroft Bittersweet, a Shakespearean actor, saw Lois talking to a man in the lobby of the hotel. When Kent spoke to her, she slapped his face and went up to a room 24, by the way, registered in the name of a Countess Wojcicka. Going to their own room 19, Kent, Jimmy, and Sir Mycroft found Lois slumped, unconscious in a chair. How could Lois be in 2 rooms at the same time? Leaving Sir Mycroft with the unconscious girl in room 19, Kent and Jimmy made their way down the hall to room 24. Opening the door, they burst in unceremoniously, only to find another surprise.
Jumping Jiminy, do you see what I see?
Yes, Jim, I do, but I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
Forgive me, gentlemen. I don't wish to be rude, but is it customary to invade the privacy of one's room in so high-handed a manner?
Mr. Kent, who can this be? This one's wearing a beard and a monocle, and Jiminy, look at the length of that cigarette holder.
This is also customary to add insult to injury by commenting rudely upon the appearance of the person whose privacy you have invaded.
Well, there's something very strange here.
Strange indeed. I should say so. I suggest you and this insolent boy leave my room at once.
I understand how you feel, but you don't understand.
I understand that you have had the audacity to enter my room.
No, wait, please, let me explain.
I am not interested in your... On second thought, perhaps I am. Explain what excuse you might have for bursting in here as you did.
Well, first of all, we mistook a young woman in the lobby for a friend of ours, Lois Lane, who disappeared earlier in the day. We understood that this girl was registered here as the Countess Wojcicka and that she occupied this room.
The Countess Wojcicka does occupy this room.
Well, and what are you doing here?
I, my dear boy, happen to be the Count Wojcicka, the Countess's husband.
You are the Countess Wojcicka's husband?
Oh, really, sir?
Who is the man in the red fez? Something wrong, Count?
You two? You two are starting this stupid business of the man in the red fez?
What's he talking about?
I will tell you what I am talking about. And then I will tell you to get out of here and stay out. This joke has gone far enough.
What joke? What are you talking about?
When my wife and I arrived in Arabia over a week ago, we received an anonymous note warning us to be careful of a certain man in a red fez.
Golly, the same man we saw in the hotel lobby only a few minutes ago.
Have you quite finished?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Traveling toward Mecca, we've stopped in many places, of course. And in each new place we have received another note, all of them saying the same thing. Be careful of the man in the red fez.
Then you don't know who the man in the red fez is? You have no idea?
Of course I have no idea. And I tell you frankly, I'm sick to death of this stupid joke.
Well, now, wait a minute. If you really don't know who he is, what was he doing in this room 10 minutes ago?
Friend, I'm afraid you are out of your mind.
Oh, but he's not. I was with Mr. Kent when he entered this room before.
Now, look here, sir. A lot of things have been going on here you obviously aren't aware of. To begin with, the man in the red fez was sitting in that chair over there 10 minutes ago. Not only that, but he claimed this was his room and said he had never heard of the Countess Wojcicka.
You almost make me believe you. You sound very sincere.
I am sincere. That's what I've got to make you believe. This thing isn't a joke. As a matter of fact, I'm convinced something is going on here that, well, that's pretty terrible. Something we've got to stop.
What sort of thing?
I don't know. That's what I've got to find out. Tell me, what does your wife look like? Have you a picture of her?
Yes, but she'll be out in a moment. You can see her for yourself.
You mean she's here now?
But of course, she's in the next room dressing for dinner.
Well, she wasn't here a little while ago.
10 minutes ago, as a matter of fact. The man in the red fez said she wasn't anyway.
I assure you she is here now, and she was here then.
Would you ask her to come out for a moment?
Of course I will call her, and... No, I will not. This is utterly absurd. I will not disturb her. She must have had a fatiguing day shopping in the bazaars.
Well, then would you show us the picture you have of her?
Oh, yes, I will do that. And then, if you will, please go. We've had so much trouble, we want no more of it. We are refugees, you see. We escaped from Poland just in time.
I understand, and I'll try not to bother you more than is necessary.
Here is the picture. An excellent likeness of my wife.
What? Why, it's Lois Lane. That's who it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your wife is almost a perfect double for this friend of ours, Lois Lane.
Well, that's highly interesting. Now, if you would please go...
Oh, no, not yet.
Now, look here. If you don't leave this room at once...
Listen to me. Your wife is in danger, grave danger. I begin to see a few things now. The man in the red fez following us in the bazaar, Lois's disappearance. Don't you see, Jim? They thought Lois was the Countess Wojcicka.
Sure, that must have been it. They took her to that abandoned mosque. But why did they let her show herself in the doorway?
Who knows? Perhaps to add a little mystery to the game they're playing. The fortune teller, the strange music leading us on toward the mosque, Lois appearing in the doorway, all an attempt, Jimmy, to convince us that Lois, or the Countess as they thought, was in the hands of a power stronger than ourselves.
I get it.
And then they discovered their mistake. They realized that Lois was not the Countess Wojcicka. They knocked her out and brought her back to our room. That's how she happens to be lying unconscious in our room this very minute.
But what in heaven's name would they want with my wife?
You're a wealthy man, I take it, Count.
Of course.
There is such a thing as ransom.
Ransom?
As I see it, the man in the red fez is a member of a band. Maybe the head of it, for all I know. But there's one thing I'm sure of. They're after the Countess. And once they get her, you'll pay dearly before you get her back.
I must get in touch with the police here in Mecca at once.
Ah, you're beginning to talk sense.
Those warnings I received in the... hello, operator. Give me police headquarters. Yes, quickly, please. Those warnings, they really meant something then.
No doubt of it.
But who could have sent them? Who? Hello? The chief of police, please. This is Count Wojcicka speaking. Thank you. As I was saying, sir...
Wait a minute.
What is it? Why do you look at me?
Hang up, quick.
Hang up? Well, you mean...
I mean, put that phone down.
Mr. Kent, what...
Oh, you must be out of your mind. Hello? Is this the chief of police? This here... How dare you, Mr. Kent? Give me back that phone.
Gosh, Mr. Kent, what's come over you?
I just thought of something. Do me a favor, Count Wojcicka. Step into that dressing room and ask your wife to come out here.
I told you before I will not disturb her.
Well, if you won't disturb her, I will.
Wait! I don't know what you are driving at, but... Very well. I will ask her to come here myself. Stephanie, my dear. Come here a moment, please. Stephanie! Stephanie! Good heavens, I can't explain, but
she's not there, just as I suspected.
But she was in there only a few minutes ago.
I don't think she was. How do you know she was in there?
Why, I was about to enter her dressing room when she called out to me. She said, "I'm dressing, darling. I'll be out in a minute." Don't you see? She must have been there.
Well, she was there, all right, but the man in the red fez was with her, forcing her to say just that. Is there any other way out of that room?
Yes, there is another door which leads to the corridor.
And that's the way they went.
The police, I must get them now.
That's exactly what you must not do.
What? My wife has been abducted by a band of cutthroats. I must do something to save her.
Call in the police and you'll never see your wife alive again. Don't you see what's going to happen? You'll get a ransom note telling you to leave a sum of money at a certain place. And you'll also be warned not to get in touch with the police. If you do, your wife's life will be forfeit.
Then what am I to do?
I don't know yet. I've got to have time to think, to figure out a plan. Wait a minute, I'll answer that. Hello? Why, yes, Count Wojcicka's here. Certainly, just a moment. It's the police calling back to find out about that call you made. Now, say anything you like, but stall them off.
You sure?
We'll need them later, but not now.
Very well. Hello? Yes, this is Count Wojcicka. Yes, I did call you. Well, I'm sorry, but I was forced to hang up. Well, I wanted to know if I had to have my visa looked over by the local police again. Well, yes. Yes, I know usually it is not necessary, but... Well, I thought I heard someone say... Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Good. What? Oh, no, there was nothing else I wanted to talk to you about. Nothing at all.
Golly, Count Wojcicka, don't take it too hard. We'll find a way to help you.
I cannot help myself. My wife is very dear to me.
I can understand it. It's amazing that she should bear such a striking resemblance to Lois Lane. Oh, Lois ought to regain consciousness by this time. Come on, let's get back to our room.
May I come with you?
Oh, by all means, Count.
I hope you will forgive my seeming rudeness when you first came in.
That's all right.
What's our next step, Mr. Kent?
Find out everything Lois can tell us and then try to get on the track of these kidnappers. There's hardly any doubt Count Wojcicka will receive a ransom note soon.
They certainly must be a clever band. My gosh, we went into that mosque only a minute or two after Lois had been seen standing in the doorway, and she was nowhere to be found.
It's true. I practically tore that place apart brick by
You
brick.
what?
I stood by while Superman pulled the place apart. No sign of Lois anywhere. They must have taken her out through a side door and escaped under cover of darkness.
Yeah, it was pretty dark by that time.
Lois will be able to throw some light on it. Now, here's our room. Now, come right in, Count. Well, what in the world?
Jumping Jiminy.
Lois! Sir Mycroft!
Mr. Kent, don't tell me they're gone, too.
What has happened to Lois and Sir Mycroft? What evil power is drawing a web of mystery closer and closer about our friends? There are thrills and surprises in store for you in our next episode, so be sure to be with us. Listen tomorrow and every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station. Tune in and follow the adventures of Superman.
Did you ever stop to think why American machine gun crews make such good scores in their battles against the Japs and the Nazis? Their teamwork, their super marksmanship, comes from practice. Practice every day until they can hit the bullseye practically every time. But that much practice eats up an awful lot of bullets, and that's where you come in. You buy bullets for machine gunners every time you buy war stamps. 5 bullets for every 10-cent stamp. So get behind your team by buying stamps just as often as you can. Can you think of anything more exciting to buy for your dime than 5 .45 caliber bullets? 5 bullets for American soldiers to use in protecting your home from the Japs or the Nazis. So get going. Get your stamps today and every day.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Follow the adventures of Superman every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station. Superman is written and directed by George Lothar and is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. This is Mutual.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invite you to Rockin' into the Future with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Stand by to raise ship. Blast off. -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. As roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. A gang of convicts, the most dangerous criminals in the universe, have escaped from lonely Prison Rock in the asteroid belt. And now, throughout the universe, all ships, patrols, and stations of the Solar Guard are on the alert for news about these desperate men.
Attention all units. Gang thought to be the escaped convicts has just raided Ganymede Colony. These men must be apprehended. End transmission. The governor of Ganymede Colony, wounded in the convict attack, has died. There is no present information on the criminal's whereabouts. All sectors maintain constant watch. End transmission.
Among those listening to these grim messages are Space Cadets Tom Corbett and Roger Manning, blasting through space in a small rocket scout. They listen unhappily because, though they quelled the convict mutiny on Prison Rock, they were unable to prevent its ringleaders from escaping.
Tom, this burns my jets. First those convicts steal our ship, the Polaris, and now we get sent back to Earth.
The whole Solar Guard's on the job, Roger. And after all, we're still only cadets.
Oh, we stopped the break on Prison Rock, stopped the toll.
Yeah, but not Hogue and Bull Carson.
Blasted, Junior, that wasn't our fault. Orders or no orders, I've got a good mind to go after them.
First, we don't know where they are. Second, we'd get booted out of the academy.
I don't care.
Have your jets and keep your eye on the radar screen, Space Boy. Who knows? We may run into those babies.
Listen, Paul.
Wait, Hope. Attention coming in on the audio.
Attention, all Solar Guard patrols in 3rd and 4th quadrants. The cruiser, believed to be the stolen Polaris, has been reported at 0400 at the following approximate position. Coordinate 684430. I repeat, coordinate 684430. End transmission.
It worked, Hogue. The Solar Guard's off our track.
Yeah, for the moment. But, Bull, just about every guard and rocket scout in the universe is hunting for
Let
us.
'em hunt. This ship is fast, and we got plenty of fuel from those colonies we knocked over.
Perhaps we should lie low for a while at the hideout.
Squat on that dismal hunk of space junk, not me. I had 12 years on Prison Rock.
But, Bull, just a couple of months.
No, I said. The space freighter Alpha will be along soon, loaded with gold and vanadium and a cinch to hijack.
It's too risky. It'll take hours to transfer the stuff. If anything goes wrong, if they get a message...
Leave it to me. With the guns in this cruiser, I'll blast a hole into the Alpha's head before the crew knows we're around.
It's a terrible risk, and it means the murder...
Cut your jets of blips coming in on the screen. Gully, give me a blast in the port steering rockets.
All right, Paul.
Bull, listen to me.
I said cut your jets. I'm running this show.
You're not. I planned the break, everything. I was to be in charge.
You was to be, but you ain't. We need a man to run this show.
You're not the only one on this rocket. The other men have a right to say...
Go ahead, ask them. One word from me and they'll dump you out into space.
You wouldn't...
See me?
Let me go. Let me go.
Now, keep out of my way. Yeah, that's the Alpha, all right. Millions in gold and vanadium. Give me a blast from the starboard rocket, Scully, and stand by. We're going in for the kill. We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Spaceman, now there are 2 reasons why you should get the build-up wheat cereal Kellogg's Pep. First, you'll enjoy the wonderful, swell-tasting malt flavor of Kellogg's Pep. And second, you can use the box top to help get a pair of official space goggles. Now, these space goggles are the very same as the goggles issued to the space cadets at Space Academy. They're made of a special plastic for clear visibility under all space conditions. Now, don't confuse these goggles with ordinary goggles. You know, the kind with a lens over each eye. Space goggles are made of one sweeping curved piece of colored plastic, like a giant bubble that fits right over both eyes. You know, it even fits over eyeglasses, too. This advanced design is now being used by automobile racers, motorcycle riders, and other racing men. Well, now you join these men with your own space goggles. So follow these official instructions. To get your space goggles, send 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, and your name and address. Repeat, 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Send to Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Don't wait, spacemen. Send for your space goggles today.
Several hours have passed since Bull Carson, the escaped convict, launched his ferocious attack on the space freighter Alpha. Now, not far from that spot, Tom and Roger in their small rocket scout receive an urgent command, crackling through space from headquarters of the Solar Guard Command.
Attention, all rocket crews in vicinity of A Quadrant, Sector 9. The space freighter Alpha en route to Earth from Jupiter has been unreported since 0900 hours. If you sight her, report immediately. This is urgent. End transmission.
Hey, Tom. A Quadrant, Sector 9. That's us.
Well, not quite.
What do you mean? It's hardly 15,000 miles
We
away.
weren't asked to search. Just watch.
Oh, now listen, Junior.
Well, okay, Roger. It may be a breach of discipline. But let's see what we can see. I don't know, Roger. We've been searching for an hour. Better get back on course for the academy.
Last, I suppose. Hey, Tom, wait. I've got a blip on the radar screen.
Where?
It's gone now. That's strange. It just seemed to drift in and out.
Sure you're not looking for an excuse to stay here?
No. There it is again.
Yeah. It's hardly moving, just floating, sort of. Roger, if that's the lost freighter, she must be in trouble.
Won't take long to find out. She's not very far from us. Hold everything, Tom, while I plot a course.
How about it, Roger? We ought to be pretty close to the space freighter now, if it is the freighter.
Should be at her position in a wink, Tom. Ease off.
Right.
Let's see if we can spot her through the viewport.
Not yet.
Ease just a touch to starboard, about a point. That's it now.
There she is. It's the Alpha, all right. And look, Roger, 2 big holes in her head.
And Tom, she's trailing vapor. Must have been shot up. Look, she's turning. There's another rocket coupled to her.
It's the Polaris.
Yeah, by the moons of Jupiter.
Quick, Roger, get on the audio to Solar Command.
Right. Tom, they've seen us. Look, the gun ports are opening on the Polaris. They're going to fire.
We've got to get out of here.
Hard to starboard.
Right.
Rings of Saturn, they got us.
Lancing shot, but our power's gone. Roger, the mass is rising like crazy. Get on the ball.
Nothing we can do, Tom. They hit the reaction chamber. We'll be blown to space junk in a minute.
Into the jet boat. We've got to bail out on the double.
was close, Tom. We got out of there just in time.
Stow the conversation, Roger. Get on the audio and call Solar Command. This is their chance to bag those convicts.
Right. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
No audio, Junior.
No audio?
Well, those rocket blasts must have smashed it.
Oh, no.
How are we on fuel, Tom?
Oh, well, only enough for a bare 2,000 miles.
Well, we've got to find some place to let down, even if it's just a hunk of space junk.
That's true. Being cooped up in this buggy won't be very comfortable after the first couple of days. Hey, Roger. What's the blip on your radar screen?
Not too far off, whatever it is, and pretty big.
Roger, you wanted an asteroid? There it is.
Yeah. Ease off a point or two.
Right.
A little more. Right. Now, let's go. Maybe we'll find another tropical paradise in space like Delport.
Let's not bet on it. While we're underway, we can put on helmets and spacesuits. Then we'll be ready for anything. Climb out, Roger, and inspect your tropical paradise.
Junior, this is the loneliest hunk of space junk I've ever seen.
What'd you expect, Venus Beach? I must admit, though, even Frozen Rock looks cheerful in comparison to this place.
How are we ever going to get off of here? Old Astro's going to miss us, Tom.
Throttle down on such talk. Our oxygen will hold out for a week, and that time anything can happen.
Oh, sure. A fairy godmother might come and wave her magic wand and say that...
Hey, where you are?
Hey, who in the...
It's no fairy godmother. Look.
Well, what do you know? A real old-timer. Hey!
Don't you move!
He's pointing a parallel ray at us.
Yeah, not very friendly. Well, listen, mister.
Going. You know the law for prospecting on space junk? First man to stake a claim, it's his'n. And this is mine, Sam Harvey. Now get back in your boat and blast off.
Oh, wait a minute.
Blast off my claim or I'll burn you.
Listen, will you? We're not prospectors.
You ain't?
No, we're space cadets. My name is Tom Corbett, and this is Roger Manning.
You're talking mighty glib, but I ain't putting this gun away till I'm certain.
Who do you think we are? Two-headed men from the Milky Way?
Well, you might be a couple of them escaped convicts I heard about on my audio.
Hey, he's got a communicator.
Listen, old-timer.
Wait, Mr. Harvey, can we use it to get a message out to the Solar Guard?
Solar Guard? Guess you do be space cadets. All right. Okay, I'll put away my gun.
That communicator, lead it to us.
No go. Receiver's still pretty fair, but the transmitter stopped operating years ago. I threw her away.
Oh, we sure get all the breaks.
Sorry, fellas, but leastways I can offer you a place to get out of them spacesuits.
You can?
Yep. Got a prefab space hut. Ain't nothing fancy, mind, but comfortable.
Mr. Harvey, let's get going.
See, boys, I'm a prospector. All my life I've been trying to strike it rich, digging through one pile of space junk after another. Now, right here on this asteroid, I made it. Titanium. I'm rich, boys.
Well, congratulations,
And I hear about them escaped prisoners. Then a rocket ship comes blasting over, way out all the space lanes, and then you two show up.
A ship's been around here? What kind?
Well, I don't know for sure. My radar screen's pretty old. Looked like a pretty big cruiser, though.
A cruiser?
Yep. Passed over here just before you come. Seemed to set down some ways off. There's a pretty big asteroid there in Sector 8.
Tom, could it have been the Polaris?
Could very well be. Mr. Harvey, how about your rocket ship?
Well, got old Jenny, 40 years old if she's a day, and she rattles considerable, but she'll still fly. Why, Cadet?
If you could let us borrow it.
No. You want to go hunt for them convicts, don't you?
Why, yes.
Well, forget it. Forget the convicts. We'll put all the fuel into old Jenny, blast off for home, report the find, and you'll get a share of my strike. You boys will be rich, too.
Huh? Sorry, Mr. Harvey. Those men are killers, and we're going after them in the jet boat.
It's 1,000 to 1 you'll never make it, and if you do get that fur, they'll kill you.
You may be right, but we've got to go just the same. Come on, Roger, let's suit up. We've got a date with 1,000 to 1 gamble.
Look, Tom, in the viewport. That must be the asteroid we want.
And there's the valley Harvey talked about. Bowl-shaped with rock ridges all around. We've made it.
Keep under the ridges, then we may not register on the radar screen.
Right. You see the little shelf Harvey mentioned? We'll land there, then go up to the ridge and see.
Well, land quick. I'll bet we don't have much more than a cup full of fuel in this space buggy.
Right. Here we go.
Uh-oh, mule's gone. We didn't even have a cup full.
That's all right. We're close enough.
That shelf looks rough.
Yeah, we're going to bounce a little. Hang on, Roger. Here we go.
Bounce a little, you said. I hope our convict friends didn't hear us.
We'll find out in a moment. Get your helmet on.
All set. Wish we had guns.
Never mind. Get the hatch open.
Right. Open she is.
Come on.
Don't hear or see a thing, Tom.
If anybody's here, they'll be in the bowl. We'll jump the ridge and look-see.
That's a good 40 feet, Junior.
Well, there's practically no gravity here. We'll float up like bubbles. Let's go and as quiet as you can. One more jump and we'll be at the top of the ridge, Roger. Easy now. Don't let them see you.
This is a wild goose chase. Old Harvey's got cracked jets.
No, he hasn't. Hold it and look.
Tom, there's the Polaris.
Uh-huh. And Bull Carson, Hogue, and Cully.
With 3 other guys. So this is their hideout.
Looks like.
Okay, so there they are, and here we are. 6 of them, 2 of us, and they've got guns. So what do we do?
I don't know yet. We've got to think of something. Hey, what's that? Roger, look.
Another rocket coming down. Tom, maybe... No, that's no Solar Guard ship. It's some old jalopy. It's landed. Tom, that must be Sam Harvey's ship.
Wait, Roger. The pilot's getting out.
Tom, it is Sam Harvey.
I got him, Cully. Take his ray gun.
Got it, Bull. Let me go, you fool.
You're the fool, looks like.
I come to make a deal, blast you. I know you're them escaped convicts. Now let me go.
I'm struggling. You can't get loose. That's a good boy, Pop. Now, what's this about a deal?
Look, I need fuel. You got lots of it. I'm rich. Found an asteroid back in Sector 7. Got titanium on it, plenty.
Sector 7, huh?
Yeah, you give me fuel to find my report now, and I'll give you half interest in the whole work.
Why should we take half when we can have it all?
Listen,
yourself. We give you fuel. What's to prevent your telling the Solar Guard where to find it?
I won't do nothing like that.
You bet you won't.
What's going on here, Bull?
Hogue, we just found ourselves a titanium mine.
We also found an old goat who knows too much for his own good. Take off your spacesuit, Grandpa.
What for?
You're going to take a little trip out into space. Maybe you can find another mine for yourself.
Ha! What a sense of humor, Bull. Okay, Whiskers, take off this suit.
You can't do that. I'll die.
Tough luck.
Bull, I don't like
Get in
it.
the steering, Hogue.
I won't allow it.
Cully, take it.
Let me go.
You've gotten in my way for the last time, Hogue.
You can't. I won't.
For the last time. Old Whiskers is going to have a partner in space.
Tom, those convicts are going to kill Harvey and Hogue.
I know, Roger.
What do we do? We can't just sit here.
No.
But if we show ourselves, they'll blast us to ribbons. Think of something, Tom. Think of something.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by.
Spacemen, send for your official Space Cadet goggles right away. These goggles, part of every Space Cadet's equipment, are so useful. You want to carry them and wear them every day. You know, Roger Manning says space goggles are just about the most important things a spaceman can have. Right, Roger?
You bet, spaceman. When I'm working up on the radar bridge of the Polaris, there are a lot of flashing lights flickering around. Wearing space goggles protects my eyes. And you know, these aren't regular goggles. They're advanced design goggles for use out in space. One sweeping curved piece of clear-colored plastic, like the observation blister in a jet boat, or a giant bubble that fits right over both eyes. Send for your space goggles right away. Space Academy Supply Headquarters has them all ready and waiting for you. If you're smart, you'll send for an extra pair, too, so you'll have them for emergencies.
Good idea, Roger. And now, spacemen, write this down. Here's how to get your official Space Cadet goggles. Send 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep Box Top, and your name and address. Repeat, 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep Box Top, your name and address. Send to Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Hop to it, spaceman. Send for your space goggles right away. And remember, start off your day with a spaceman's breakfast. Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
Trailing the escaped convicts to a bowl-shaped valley on their hideaway asteroid, Tom Corbett and Roger Manning see Sam Harvey, an old prospector, land in his rocket ship. Harvey tries to make a deal with the criminals, but they have other ideas. And when Hogue, one of the convicts, attempts to come to his rescue, Bull Carson goes for them both. As a terrific fight ensues, Tom and Roger see their chance.
What are we going to do, Tom? Now, while they're fighting, we've got to take over the Polaris.
We're space happy. It's way down there.
No gravity. We can get to it in 3 big jumps. Just pray that Hogue and Harvey keep them so busy they can't look our way.
Okay, I'm ready.
Right, here we go, boy, like kangaroos. One more jump, Roger, and we'll be at the Polaris.
Come on, Junior, take off.
They spotted us.
They're shooting at us.
Yeah, but missing.
So far.
We're coming down right at the Polaris airlock. When we land, scramble in fast. Great. Here's the airlock. Get in.
Okay, Tom, I'll close up. They found the range with those guns.
Yeah, too late. The Polaris can take it.
Good old Polaris. Let's get to the deck guns, Tom.
Right. Get your helmet off. We can work better. I'll man this forward gun. You take the aft projector.
Okay. They're still trying with the heat ray.
Fire over their heads. That'll stop them.
That did it, Junior. Look, they're scrambling for cover like rats.
Fine. Just give them a blast now and then to remind them who's boss.
How about Sam Harvey? I don't want him harmed, even if he did try to make a deal with those crooks.
Well, dreams of wealth went to his head, I guess. We'll get him, Roger. Don't worry.
No?
In a few minutes. Now I want to get on the audio and tell Prison Rock to send us a paddy wagon. They'll be very glad to hear the revolt of the convicts is over.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure with Tom Corbett and the Space Cadets on Tuesday, when the cadets involved in the settlement of a great new planet are confronted by the vultures of space. Tune in, same time, same station for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast were Jan Merlin, Joseph Boland, James McCallion, and Cameron Andrews. Today's program was written by Ben Peter Freeman and directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Beck speaking.
Boys and girls, this is Tom Corbett. Our program, Tom Corbett Space Cadet, has received the annual award from the Boy Scouts of America as the Outstanding Family Entertainment of the Year. We sincerely appreciate this award and will continue to promote the fine examples and standards set by the Boy Scouts of America.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran, raisins and bran flakes too. They're out of this world, they're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Kellogg's raisins are honeycomb coated to keep them tender, the bran flakes crisper. Kellogg's Raisin Bran, raisins and bran flakes too. They're out of this world, they're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? we offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are in your house, surrounded by all that is secure and normal, while outside, your children are playing a new and wonderful game.
Well, thanks. Thanks a lot. Hello?
Hello, Mary. How are things in New York?
Oh, Helen, how nice. Are you in town?
No, I'm in Danbury. I was just thinking of you, thought I'd call.
It's long distance, though. You shouldn't.
Oh, I can afford 3 minutes. How's Henry?
Oh, fine. And Bill?
Oh, just fine. Well, what about me?
Oh, wonderful. Noisier than ever. She's got a new game now. It's taken the place of hopscotch. Invasion.
Is she playing that, too?
Yes. Are yours?
Same thing. Some kind of geometric jacks, I suppose. Isn't it a scream? All the kids their age are playing it up here. Jimmy's got a crush on some guy named Drill. I think that's what it is.
Well, it must be a new password. Mine likes him, too.
I didn't know it got to New York. Word of mouth, I suppose. You know, kids. Funniest thing, I got a letter from my sister in Boston. She says her kids are playing it, too. It's sweeping the country.
I wonder where they learned it.
Don't ask me. All I know is what Timmy told me at lunch. 0 hours at 5 o'clock.
When?
Today. That's when the invasion's going to be. These kids and their imaginations.
And they talked a little more. Schoolgirl friends, casual woman talk. But Mrs. Morris was thoughtful. She was thinking of other things, of adults, of children under 9 with imagination, rose bushes, dimensions. She thought of how much she had forgotten about being a child, and she wondered about Mink and all the kids who at that moment were playing Invasion.
Oh, no, not if I know Fred. I'm so glad you called.
Give my love to Henry and a kiss for me.
I will. And to Bill and the kids.
Thanks, dear. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
An hour drowsed by. It was 3 o'clock. There was an occasional hum inside the coolness of the house as a car passed outside. The street was lined with good, green, and peaceful trees. And all across the city, in other gardens and other places, children under 9 were excitedly playing a game, talking to rose bushes and grass lawns, trees and shrubs. Even children in apartment houses high in the air, conferring with potted plants, cactus, and ivy. Mrs. Morris finished the vacuuming and went to the kitchen.
Oh, hello, dear.
Hi, Mom. Can I have a glass of water?
Oh, of course, I'll get it.
I want squares, 37, A over 56 to the 7th degree, XG7.
What, dear?
Oh, nothing, Mom.
Oh, here you are.
Thanks.
How are things going?
Hmm?
The invasion.
Oh, that.
Yes, that.
Almost finished. When everything's right, Drill said we should be ready on time.
5 o'clock?
That's right. How did you know?
Well, Helen called me from Danbury. She says Timmy's playing it, too.
Hey, that's keen.
I guess all the kids are, aren't they?
No, not all of them. Guys like Pete Britt and Dale Jarrett. They're growing up. They make fun of us. They're even worse than parents. They just won't believe in drill. They're so smart just because they're growing up. You'd think they know better. They were little only a couple of years ago. Well, we're going to get rid of them first. Drill says it's okay to kill them first.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't like that kind of talk, Mink. You hear me? I don't like it at all.
Oh, Mom.
I mean it. We'll keep on that way and there's no more playing. You'll have to tell Anna to go home and you'll stay inside until bedtime.
I'm sorry.
Well, I should think so.
Thanks for the water, Mom.
Mink?
Uh-huh.
What do those numbers mean?
What What numbers?
Those numbers you were saying to yourself before.
Oh, that? Well, there's just things that we have to do to get Drill and his friends out. That's all.
Look, dear, why don't you and Anna go down to the drugstore and get some ice cream, huh? You don't have to use your allowance. I'll pay for it.
Haven't got time, Mom.
Well, I'd never believe I'd hear you say that.
I gotta go now, Mom.
Oh, wait a minute. Mink, I want you to tell me the truth. What is this invasion of silliness?
It isn't silly. It's just a game. That's all. We're just playing at invasion. Excuse me, I gotta get back now. I'll see you later.
We will return to Escape in just a moment, but first, this is Fire Prevention Week, proclaimed by the President and supported by all responsible businesses and individuals. Fires start, on the average, at the rate of 1 every 20 seconds somewhere in America. Through them, 11,000 lives a year and hundreds of millions of dollars in property are lost. Clean out burnables. Eliminate frayed wires and all other hazards. Don't give fire the place to start, in your home or business. And now, back to Escape.
It was a game called Invasion. Mrs. Morris's little girl, Mink, was playing it. So was Mink's friend Anna and all the other children under 9. It was called Invasion, and 0 hour was to be at 5 o'clock. Mrs. Morris was disturbed. She wasn't sure why, but there was something about parents shutting ears and eyes to what was happening. And because she was disturbed, she did something she didn't usually do. She called her husband at the office.
Hello, dear.
Oh, hello, Henry. I'm sorry to bother you, but Miss Maxon said you weren't busy.
Not too. I should be able to get home early today. Everything all right?
Yes.
You all right?
I'm fine.
Me?
Well, Henry.
What, dear?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to talk to you for a minute, that's all.
Listen, you sure you're all right?
Oh, yes.
Mink been getting on your nerves?
Not really.
Well, now, you tell her to behave. When I come home, she and I are going to have a talk. Matter of fact, she's been a little fresh lately. I don't think it's good for her to...
Well, she's staying outside. She's fine.
Honey, is something wrong?
Well, no, I told you. I was thinking about you and wanted to talk. That's all. Nothing wrong with that.
Not a thing.
No. You go back to your work, dear. I'll see you soon.
All right.
What time do you think you'll be home?
About 5. Maybe a little earlier.
5. Oh.
Hey. What? Come on. What?
Well, I was just thinking. Nothing, really. Just Mink and you and me.
Good thoughts.
Goodbye, dear.
So long. You are okay, aren't you?
Oh, I'm fine. Goodbye.
Bye.
Another hour passed, and it was 4:30. The day began to wane. The sun lowered in the peaceful blue sky. Shadows lengthened on the green lawn. Outside, it was quiet. The 2 little girls more intent than ever upon their endless movement of design and pattern with the implements before them. Mrs. Morris watched from the window, and she had never known Mink to have such powers of concentration. She had switched on the radio and sat drinking a cup of coffee and turned over her thoughts.
Children. Children love and hate side by side. Sometimes children love you and hate you all in half a second. Strange children. Do they ever forget or forgive the whipping and the harsh, strict words of command. I wonder. How can you forget or forgive those over and above you? Those tall, silly dictators. Those parents.
Mom!
Oh, what is it, dear?
Have we got a piece of lead pipe and a hammer?
Well, I don't know. They might be in the garage. What do you want them for?
Oh, we just need them.
Well, if you tell me, I can find them.
Get them. Thanks, Mom.
Is something wrong?
We'll start halfway. If we could get them all the way through, it'd be easier. And all the others would come through after us.
Well, can I help?
Thanks, Mom. I can fix it.
You better get through, Mink. I want you to take your bath before your father comes home.
All right.
He's coming home early. And Mink!
Mink had disappeared behind the shrubs, and Mrs. Morris knew it was ridiculous to make an issue of it. Besides, what was the issue? Invasion? Drill? 0 hour? Unaccountably, a cool breeze came up, and although normally, for that time of year, it would have been a relief, Mrs. Morris felt a chill. She closed the window. Time passed. A curious, waiting silence came upon the street, deepening. Then from the living room, Mrs. Morris heard... "5 o'clock. 0 hour. 0 hour. It had come, and now it had gone. But was the clock right? Mrs. Morris, knowing how foolish it was, knowing it, went to the phone and dialed.
Billy. Billy.
When you hear the tone, the time will be exactly 4:54 and 20 seconds.
"4:54 and 20 seconds. Mrs. Morris knew that it wasn't as silly as she had thought, because it wasn't 5 o'clock yet. Not 0 hour yet. Then the car drove up into the driveway.
Hey, how's it going? Hi, you got a gift for your old man?
Daddy.
Well, that's a nice thing. What are you doing?
We're playing Invasion.
Oh, well. Mother in the house?
Yes?
Okay, be good.
I will. 0 hour in a few minutes, Daddy.
All right, I'll be ready.
Mrs. Morris heard him chuckle, and his steps up the walk to the front door.
Mary.
Oh, I'm in the living room, dear.
Oh. Hi. Our daughter didn't have time for a kiss. How about you?
Hard day?
Oh, not particularly.
Would you like a cocktail?
You read my mind.
Martini?
Perfect. Anything exciting happened today?
No. Oh, Helen called.
Oh?
From Danbury. I told her she was crazy, but she just felt like calling.
Like you calling me this afternoon. Crazy, huh? Oh, what was that all about?
Well, I told you I wanted to.
Hey, incidentally, what's this new game the kids are playing? 0 hour. Invasion. That's a nice, depressing thought.
Oh, I don't know. Something silly. They're all playing it these days. Here.
Oh. You make the best martinis in the world.
I'm glad you think so.
Hasn't this been a beautiful day? You know, I kept looking out the window wishing I was anywhere but in that office.
What's the time, Henry?
A couple of minutes after 5. What?
No, the clock's wrong. By your watch.
Oh, well, I've got 2 minutes, too. I'm probably slow. You got something on the stove?
No, I just wondered.
Honey. Hey,
Look at me. What's the matter?
Well, nothing, really.
No.
No, really.
Mink been up to something?
Of course not.
Then what?
Well, I guess I'm a little tired. Upset, that's all.
You want to go out for dinner?
Oh, no. I got a steak here.
Well, I tell you what. I'll barbecue it. How's that thing?
Oh, fine. What was that?
What?
I thought I heard something.
Well, I didn't.
I must have been imagining it.
Hey, you are jumpy. Why'd you have a drink? Do you just?
No, I don't want one. What's the time?
Mary, what is this? Well, I mean it. Something's wrong. No, I want to know.
It's silly. It's so silly. I'm on edge. That's
Mary?
all. I am.
I don't like it. That kid's done something, hasn't she? I'm going to get her in.
Oh, no, Henry, please, don't. She hasn't. It's nothing at all. I just...
What's that?
I don't know.
Well, those kids haven't got anything dangerous out there, have they? I know there's a lot of junk lying around.
No. Nothing dangerous. Just things, you know.
Nothing electrical?
Well, no, I'm sure not. Oh.
What the devil?
Well, maybe you better go out and tell them to stop playing now. It's after 5. You tell me to put off the invasion until tomorrow. Tell them...
It's coming from outside. So what are they up to? I better take a look. Mink! Good Lord! Bomb! They're bombing!
Oh, no, it's upstairs. I know it is. In the attic, that's where it is.
Mary! Not upstairs! Mary!
He ran after her, confused, frightened. She seemed to know something.
In the attic. That's where it is.
Her mind had worked that quickly. Any excuse to get him away from the outside, to get him upstairs, to the attic in time. And outside, there were more explosions, and they could hear the children screaming with delight.
Not in the attic, it's outside. Mink's out there. What's the matter with you?
No. I'll show you. Hurry! Get inside quick. Now. We're safe until tonight.
Mary.
Maybe we can sneak out later. Maybe we can escape.
Are you crazy? Why'd you throw the key away? For heaven's sake, the kid's out there. Do you want to...
Oh, you don't know. You don't. We've got to stay here. We've got to. It's horrible. We've got to. You've got to stay here with me.
Well, at this point, I don't know how the devil I can get out. Where's that light cord?
Be quiet, please. Be quiet. They'll hear us. They'll find us. Oh, Henry, please.
Who's going to answer them? There's that noise again. It's in this house. Mary, what is it? Mary, what's happening? You know. Now answer me. Stop that, Mary. Somebody's downstairs. Who's down there?
Oh, no. No, hush. Please be quiet. They might go away, please.
And between his wife's terror and the electric humming from below, Mr. Morris felt a great fear. They trembled together in silence in the attic, Mr. and Mrs. Morris, parents of a little girl. Then they heard steps coming up the stairs, and a voice.
Mom, Dad, where are you?
And a queer, cold light became visible under the door crack. A strange odor. And the alien sound of eagerness in Mink's voice was almost more than they could bear. Each wanted to scream.
Mom, Dad.
And another sound. And the attic door lock melted. Mink. Mink, with bright little eyes and tousled hair, peered inside. And behind her, tall, wavering blue shadows. Frightful shadows.
Zero Hour by Ray Bradbury. Direction and adaptation of the story were by Anthony Ellis. Tonight, you heard Paula Winslow as Mrs. Morris and Issa Ashdown as Mink, with John Daner as the narrator. Featured in the cast were Eve McVeigh, Bill Johnstone, and Mary McGovern. The special music for Escape was composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are together in a room, you and the one you love, the objects of an experiment, while the man who has dared you to undergo his test is waiting for the moment when you break, and in your defeat, find that there is no escape.
So listen next week, when Escape will bring you Stephen Vincent Benet's unusual story, Elementals.
Nestle's Ever-Ready, the instant cocoa. Nestle's Quick for great chocolate milk. And Nestle's chocolate bars now present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, a criminal scientist has discovered a method of traveling back through time. He has taken Buzz and Happy back 14 centuries and has left them on a desolate seacoast on the planet Earth.
I just can't realize that we're back in the year 1591.
Let's make the best of it. After all, our ancestors did.
And we're stuck here in the past forever?
Well, Hap, there's one slight chance of getting back.
Yeah? Well, what is it, sir? Commander, I feel strange. Everything's going black. What's that sound?
You like him?
Commander! Hey, what's happening to us? Commander! Where are you?
We'll be back in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol story, The Time Pirates. What's new?
Nestle's new.
Nestle's what?
Coconut.
Nestle's new coconut bar. That's for me. You have to eat one to believe there could be such a wonderful flavor combination. Just imagine. Thick, rich, smooth milk chocolate, crammed to the edges with fresh toasted coconut. It's such fun to eat, too, because it gets crisper with every bite. Care to add anything to that, Hap? Hap. Cadet Happy, will you please answer?
Oh, golly, Commander, I'm sorry. You know what happens to me when you start talking about Nestle's new coconut bar? I just close my eyes and leave this planet. Yes, sir, I imagine I'm eating one right then and there. I can just taste that sensational, creamy, rich chocolate and all that super coconut. It's so crisp, so delicious, so... Oops, there I go. Well, that's the way it is, Commander. And there's only one cure for it.
Oh, and what might that be?
Oh, I just got to eat a Nestle's coconut bar, of course.
Oh, well, that seems like a good idea. For you, for me, for all space patrollers, too. Gang, why don't you find out for yourselves? Treat yourself to a brand new coconut bar. You'll really go for it.
Everybody goes for Nestle's, Commander. Wonderful milk chocolate, almond chocolate, and crunchy crunch bars. And naturally, the new coconut bar in the red and cream-colored wrapper. Smoking rockets, Nestle's certainly makes the very best chocolate.
And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Time Pirates. Roaring toward the outer reaches of the solar system, a spaceship arcs over the Neptune orbit, its blazing rockets thrusting it onward at an ever-increasing pace. Far behind it, drawing slowly nearer, is the Terra 5. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy, their minds and bodies aching under the strain of several G's acceleration, relentlessly follow the blurred circle of flame from the rockets of the fleeing ship.
We're nearly up to star drive velocity. they cut over into hyperspace, we'll never get them.
Scarno's taking an awful chance because into hyperspace in that ship. I'd better warn him.
He's ignored all your other warnings, sir.
He's had a fair chance to escape. Maybe you'll listen to reason now. Venacori aboard Terra 5, calling Ryland Scarno aboard Star Drive cruiser JS-14. Corey to Scarno. Scarno, this is urgent. Acknowledge.
Someone calling the great Dr. Scarno?
Scarno, listen. Cut your rockets and surrender.
Now, Commander, why should I do that? My ship is nearly up to Star Drive velocity.
You're taking an awful chance, Scarno. That ship's in bad shape, mechanically and electronically.
I knew that when I stole it from Jupiter City Spaceport.
Your hyperspace transition effector is probably out of alignment. When you cut into Star Drive, there's no telling what'll happen to you.
One thing is sure. You won't be able to follow.
You may think the ship's worth stealing, but is it worth risking your life for?
You forget that I'm an expert on hyperspace theory and Star Drive mechanisms.
If you don't value your own life, think of that man with you.
Glomer has already made his choice. Is that right, Hugo?
Yeah, I'm speaking with Dr. Scarno.
You heard Glomer. Goodbye, Commander. We're kicking into Star Drive.
Scarno, wait. Scarno.
That's no use, sir. Look, the ship vanished. Scarno's in hyperspace.
Yes, he got away. But sooner or later, he'll have to return to the solar system.
Provided he can, you can.
You go back to Terra and alert all units from Mercury to Pluto to watch for him. In the control compartment of the stolen Star Drive cruiser, Dr. Scarno and his assistant Hugo Glomer have blacked out as the ship makes the sudden transition from regular three-dimensional space into hyperspace. At last, Scarno regains his senses and shakes his companion.
Listen, we're coming out of Star Drive.
Yeah. No, I can see streaks of light through the viewport.
I'll set up the astrogation instruments. We should emerge about 30 billion DUs beyond Pluto.
There's the sun, blazing off our starboard side. There's the Earth. I know it's the Earth. See? There's its moon.
It can't be the Earth. On the wrong side of the sun for this time of year.
Your astrogation instrument must be off.
Nonsense. We're not in hyperspace now. Mars-type planet. It's 94 degrees off.
I still say...
Shut up, Hugo. Let me think. All those planets are off. In the exact proportion of their periods of revolution around the sun. In hyperspace has no relation to ordinary space-time. Last time stood still while the solar system aged 6 months. Look at Earth. There's your proof.
I don't understand.
The Earth has gone halfway around its orbit. Half a year.
6 months gone out of our lives.
6 months. It's a multiple of 6 months. A year in 6 months. 5 years in 6 months. A century in 6 months.
No.
You're a new type of explorer, Hugo. When we land on Earth, we'll know exactly where we are. But we won't know when. There's no doubt about it now, Hugo. It's Earth, all right. The landmass is the Florida Peninsula.
But the city, what happened to the city? And there are no farms, no spaceports, just forest and wilderness.
We'll know the answer after we land. I've examined the settings on the hyperspace computer. I think I know what went wrong. Circuits that control the time coordinates are out of alignment.
Can you fix them?
Yes, I think so. Oh, there's where we'll land. Near the mouth of that river.
I'm all confused. Tell me what's going on.
Later, Hugo. Just keep your head and trust me.
Boss and Happy have returned to Space Patrol headquarters on Terra after their futile pursuit of Dr. Scarno.
Scarno will probably try to contact some of his accomplices by hyperspace communications, Happy. Our monitoring stations will notify us if any unidentified signals are picked up.
Yeah, but we can't get a fix on Scarno from hyperspace signal. And it'll probably be in code, too.
Oh, he's a liar. We may be able to locate his confederates and set a trap. I've already got a line on one likely suspect.
Who, sir?
Scarno's had dealings with a third history. He operates a small private spaceport in the Andes Mountains in South America, on planet Earth.
It's a good hideout, all right.
His tie-in of Bristol with Dr. Scarno may be the break we need.
First, we know that Strong is good on space vector.
And it does need repairing.
Yes, immediately. In fact, Strong may have set a hyperspace vector for Earth when they cut into Star Drive.
Well, he may be at Bristol Spaceport right now repairing the Star Drive controls.
He isn't, but a good chance he'll show up there very soon. Happy we're blasting off for Earth. Check up on Mr. Bristol.
Meantime, Dr. Scarno and Hugo Glomer have landed their ship near the mouth of a river. Carrying empty water containers, they climb a grassy knoll that slopes down toward the sandy beach a quarter of a mile away.
Look, Doc, I kept quiet all the time you were working on a hyperspace computer. Now, will you tell me what year we're in?
I don't know whether your mind can stand the shock, Hugo. But first, let me assure you I've repaired the computer and the control mechanism. We can return to our proper period of time whenever we choose.
All right. Let's have it.
Remember you asked what happened to the cities of North America? They have not been destroyed. They have not yet been built. They are now in the latter part of the 16th century.
We've gone back into the past?
More than 1,400 years back. From the 30th century back to about 1591.
But can we return? Are you sure you can get us back to the 30th century?
What's the rush? We're safe here. And the Cory hasn't been born yet, and won't be for 14 centuries. Between the river, the sea, and those woods over there, we'll find plenty of fish and game to eat. Hugo. No. They're running toward the beach.
Coming down the river?
No, from the sea. Must be a ship out there.
Why didn't we see it when we came in for a landing?
Up and down for 3 hours. The ship may have been hidden in the cove.
Those men. What did they look like?
They're dragging the rowboat up on the sand. See that ship. It's gone. The rest of it is hidden by the river. There's your head over there, and you can see.
Sailing ship.
Not true. Steamships won't be invented for more than 200 years. A Spanish galleon, Hugo.
Spanish galleon?
Now, do you believe this is 1591?
Could be a dream.
It's real, all right. There's men climbing out of the rowboat now. They're carrying something heavy. A big box of some kind. Some shutters.
Let me have the binoculars.
No. Hugo. The pirates. They're burying their loot. Treasure they've stolen from other ships. They're burying it here.
Doc, you're talking awfully strange.
Well, what will they do? Then they'll go back to the ship and sail away. We'll dig it up.
What good is it going to do us?
Don't you see? If we get back to the 30th century, pirate treasure will solve all our financial problems. We'll pay Bill Bristol to help us fix up the spaceship.
We're rich. We're rich!
Elsewhere, Buzz and Happy are now at the remote spaceport operated by Phil Bristol in the Andes Mountains. They've been questioning Bristol for some time with no results.
No, Commander, I haven't heard anything from old Doc Scarno for more than a year. Frankly, that suits me fine. I don't want to get involved in any of his deals.
I see. And what about his pal, Hugo Glomer?
Glomer? I've heard of him. Now, look, Commander, I can't imagine why you came here. This spaceport's strictly on the up and up. I pick up a few emergency jobs, all legitimate.
Well, Bristol, we'd like to look around a bit. What's in that hangar over there at the south end of the port?
Oh, just an old hulk, waiting for repairs.
Cadet and I'll take a look at it.
It's nothing to see, believe me.
What's the matter, Bristol? Something out there you don't want us to see?
No. No, of course not. It's...
We'll take care of them, Bristol. Get your hands up. Both of you.
At the Scarno. Yes, Commander. Bristol, take the weapons. I don't want them to give Hugo an excuse to shoot them.
Okay, Scarno. Well, why not shoot them? We can't let them go.
I have other plans. We'll dispose of them permanently, and yet we won't harm them a bit. Remember those gold pieces I showed you? Spanish planes? What about it? We'll take Cory and the cadet back where we got the treasure and leave them there. Come on, gentlemen.
Where are you taking us, Scarno?
Oh, you like it? The sun is warm and the sea is beautiful. And someday a ship may come along and take you aboard.
And then we'll be right back on your trail, Scarno.
No, you won't. The ship, if any, It'll be a Spanish galleon.
Galleon?
That'll be safe to be forever. We're going back 1,400 years. Being marooned, Corey, like the ancient pirates maroon their enemies. Marooned in time.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Say, do you recognize this sound?
Why, that's somebody drinking Nestle's Quick, Captain Toussaint.
How can you be so sure, Tony?
Easy. A drink has to be awful good to drink it down to the very last bubble like that. And Nestle's Quick sure is. Why, it's so rich and chocolatey, it tastes just like those wonderful Nestle's chocolate bars.
Well, I follow you there.
Now, if a drink is hard to make, you usually drink it kind of slow, so it'll last long. But that sound was somebody drinking fast. And on account of you can make yourself a glass of Nestle's Quick so fast, and start all over again, us kids don't mind drinking it down in a hurry. So it had to be Nestle's Quick.
Tony, you're absolutely right. Nestle's Quick is so quick. In fact, it makes itself. You just pour out your glass of cold milk. That's right, the milk comes first. Then add 2 teaspoons of rich Nestle's Quick, and down it goes, mixing all the way. You just give it a little swish with your spoon, and it's ready to drink.
There's one more reason, Captain.
Oh, what's that?
Well, I've made that sound so many times myself, I know it by heart. Want me to show you?
Shoot.
Okay. I'll make my glass of Quick. Just add 2 spoonfuls to my glass of milk. Now once around with the spoon, in with the straws, and here goes.
Well, sure enough. That's the happy drinking you get only when you get delicious Nestle's Quick in the bright brown and yellow can. Try some right away. Quick makes milk taste like a million. You'll see. That's Nestle's Quick. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Time Pirates. At a spaceport high in the Andes Mountains on the planet Earth, the port manager, Phil Bristol, tells Buzz and Happy he knows nothing about Dr. Scarno and Hugo Glomer, who have stolen the Star Drive ship. Suddenly, Scarno and Glomer emerge from hiding, disarm the space patrollers, and threaten them with a strange fate. Buzz and Happy are to be taken back 1,400 years in time and left on a deserted coast of America in the late 16th century.
Well, gentlemen, I see you've survived your first trip back through time. We are now back in the year 1591.
It's funny. You don't look a day younger.
You're still skeptical. My friend Glomer is bringing the ship in for landing on Earth. Then you will see for yourself.
How did you discover this trick of time travel?
It was an accident. The hyperspace computer was out of adjustment. Now I can control it. However, to avoid error, I'm returning to the exact moment of time of our previous trip.
You're going to leave us here?
Yes. I'll be rid of you. Then I'll have committed no crime. There's no law against transporting people back in time. Is there, Commander?
Yeah. Scarno, how long after the pirates buried the treasure did you and Hugo dig it up?
We waited till they got back aboard their galleon and sailed out of sight. About 2 hours, I suppose. Why?
Do you know the exact time they buried it?
It was noon. Yes, the sun was almost directly overhead. What are you getting at?
The treasure existed under the sand from noon until you took it away 2 hours later. But what would happen if, on this trip, you dug it up 1 hour earlier?
Then I'd have 2 treasures.
Huh? But there's only one treasure.
Yes, it's aboard this ship.
But we're going back in time. We'll see the pirates bury their gold at noon, like rerunning a film.
But this time we'll get there sooner. Beat ourselves to it, so to speak. We'll have 2 identical treasures.
On second thought, it won't work. No, Scarno.
It will. It's got to.
But common sense...
Common sense. Common sense tells you that you couldn't possibly be here in the year 1591, because you're not even born. Still, you're here, aren't you?
Yes, but there's only one of each of us. There isn't a Commander Corey here in 1591 and another Commander Corey up ahead in the 30th century.
You're trying to talk me out of my great idea. You want to dig up the treasure after I blast off so you can live like kings here in the 16th century. Well, I'll just kill that little scheme. You and I will get the treasure again, and you two are going to help.
Dr. Scarno carefully repeats the exact landing procedure of his previous trip to the year 1591.
Then, concealed by bushes on the knoll, the four men from the 30th century watched the pirates bring their rowboat ashore, bury their treasure chest, and return to their galleon lying at anchor in the quiet waters of the bay. Finally, Scarno rises to his feet.
Stay digging. And remember, one false move and you'll die before your time. It's been a good day, Doc.
Shut up, Hugo.
Doc, what happens if those pirates see us from their ship?
I can't ask. I didn't sail around the... Anyway, what did they do about it?
Wait, dig faster, you two.
Oh, what's the rush? We've got 14 centuries to dig this up.
It's there. We uncovered the chest.
Hurry, Corey. Throw away that sand.
It was. Just like you said it would, Doc. We got proof that's the treasure.
I think I can lift it out now. One of those shovels and pull out the chest. It's sure heavy. Hugo, I've got another idea. We can dig up the same treasure twice. Why not 3 times or 4 times? Come back again, 15 or 20 minutes early. Well, you're going to be bumping into the pirates if you keep it out. Hugo, fill in that hole, level it out smooth. And don't forget the shovel. All right. Get that treasure to the ship. Hugo, unlock compartment 2. Put the chest in there with the other one. Well, hurry up. This thing isn't getting any lighter.
Okay.
All right, Corey. Take the chest in the compartment and set it down by the other treasure. Oh. Hey. What other treasure?
Doc, look. The other chest is gone.
What? That's impossible. Only you and I have the keys to this compartment. Hugo, what are you trying to pull?
What do you mean? What am I trying to pull? Are you accusing me of stealing the gold?
You didn't do it. Who did? I've got a notion that... So got you covered. You better listen. Corey has just been waiting for us to get into a private scrap so he and the cadet can jump us. Now, where did you ever get an idea like that? In fact, he probably planned this whole thing.
How could they were locked up in another compartment, except when they were with us on the beach.
Corey's figured out some trick about this time travel effect. What is it, Corey? Where's the first treasure we dug up?
Right here. Happy and I just set it down.
It's the second chest.
Look, one object can't be in 2 places in the same instant. The instant the ship returned to the year 1591, the treasure vanished from the compartment.
This time we dug up the same chest as before.
That's it. Of course, if we took the chest ahead to the 30th century and left it there, and then came back...
You got it. See, Scarno? Our spaceship is a time machine. If the gold isn't in the time machine, it would return to 1591. It would stay in the future with Bristol.
It's a possibility, Scarno.
It's worth trying. If you thought this up so we take you back to the 30th century, you're mistaken. Corey, you and the cadet are staying here. Hugo, get them out of the ship. We're blasting off.
Left behind on a desolate coast in the year 1591, Buzz and Happy watched the ship blast off into space on its strange journey into the future. Accepting their situation bravely, Buzz suggests they explore their surrounding and search for food. Right now, several hours later, the space patrollers walk along the wet sand of the water's edge.
Since we haven't any weapons to hunt with, our best bet is to try to dig up some clams.
Yeah. Looks like there are a couple of Robinson Crusoes over here.
Let's try this spot. Let's start digging up. Why are you watching the sky?
Oh, I'm looking for Scarno's ship. He ought to be back by now.
Yeah, returned here and blasted off again, Corey.
Wouldn't we have seen him?
Cap, when he returns, he'll have set his time selector to about noon of this day in 1591. To us, it's now 4 hours later. The arrival of the pirates, Scarno's return, and both of them are past history for us.
I just can't realize that we're back in 1591.
Let's get used to it. Let's make the best of it. After all, our ancestors did.
Then we're stuck here in the past forever?
It's not the past now. It's our present. However, there's one possibility, one slight chance of getting back to the future.
Yeah? Commander, to explain. Everything's going correct. What's that sound?
Like
Hey, Commander, what's happening to us? Commander? Where are you?
As Scarno lands his spaceship in the now familiar hollow between the low rolling hills, the sun is high overhead. The Spanish galleon rolls gently at anchor in the bay, its pirate crew unaware that pirates of the future are waiting to steal their plunder.
All right, Hugo, get the shovels out of the tool compartment.
Okay, Doc. What time do we hit the beach this day?
1 hour and 15 minutes past noon.
You don't suppose there's any chance of Corey and the cadets spoiling our show?
How could they? 4 hours into the future. They could no more interfere with us than you could change last week's weather.
I see. You know, I have a feeling that this time it's going to work. The treasure we left with Bristol will stay in the 30th century. Now, we dig up, duplicate the pirate paradise to bury. And we have 2 treasures.
Yes, I know. I'll get this.
Get Scarno, Happy. I'll handle Hugo. Yes, sir.
Okay, Hap, take a look.
Yes, sir.
Where did you come from?
From the compartment where you had us locked up at first.
How did you get in?
We were on the beach. Then all of a sudden there was a whirring sound. Things got black, and then, boom, we were in your ship.
What made it happen? Scarno said you were 4 hours into the future.
We were. But our existence in the year 1591 first began when your ship emerged from hyperspace, when you first brought us here. In that instant of time, we were in the ship. So when we returned to that instant, we were turning too.
Yeah, only this time the compartment door wasn't locked.
Should have shot you before he blasted him.
That wouldn't have helped you. We were part of the space-time equation for this instant of the year 1591.
Sure. As far as the 30th century is concerned, those pirates have been dead for hundreds of years. And yet, when you clean in on this day in 1591, there they are, real as life.
On your feet, Scarno. You're returning to the 30th century to get your pal Bristol.
Under Commander Corey's watchful eye, Scarno sets the hyperspace vector for a return to the 30th century. Landing at the spaceport in the Andes, Buzz leaves Happy in the ship to guard the 2 prisoners while he goes after Bristol.
Now, just relax, boys. You'll have company in a few minutes.
It's all your fault, Scarno. You were so smart.
Look, Hugo, you're still in good shape. We'll go to a criminal rehabilitation center for a while. When we come out, we'll still have the treasure we left at Bristol.
Yeah? Will Corey let us have it?
You have to. Pirates buried it, and we dug it up. 2 owners have been dead for centuries. It's ours by right of discovery.
Oh, Commander, did you find Bristol?
No, Happy's gone. And so is the ship.
The treasure. What about the treasure?
I checked the hiding place you told me about. It's gone.
For Bristol? He's double-crossed us.
Now, don't worry about him. I'll find him. It'll be easy.
Easy? Do you know where he's gone?
No, but I know how to find out.
How, sir?
I'll tell you later, Hap. When we get these 2 characters back to Terra.
Bristol, he's nothing but a
pirate?
Yes. That's a low-down pirate.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
Say, Space Patrollers, now's the time for a quick-me-up. Know what that is? It's a pick-me-up with Nestle's Quick. Yes, sir, when a fellow's throat wants something cool and smooth, Quick. Have some Quick. Quick is Nestle's wonderful chocolate powder that makes milk taste like a million. In fact, it turns out chocolate milk with the same sensational flavor as your favorite Nestle's chocolate bar. That's real terrific chocolate. Rich, smooth, and plenty delicious. And Nestle's Quick is such a cinch because it practically makes itself. After you pour yourself a glass of milk, just add 2 spoonfuls of Quick. It starts to mix itself, and you just pump it along with a little stir. Then taste it. See if you don't agree with all us Space Patrollers. There's nothing like a delicious Quick Me Up. Ask Mom to get you some Nestle's Quick in the brown and yellow can.
And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy have entered a laboratory on the planet Mars to capture a criminal. With ray guns drawn, they advance toward their foe, who suddenly darts behind a high-frequency generator.
He's trying to get out the door, Commander.
After him, Hap, before he gets away.
Yes, sir.
I can't move.
We're in a high-voltage field.
Throw down your gun. I can't.
Be with us again next week for the thrilling Space Patrol story, Voyage to the Future. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Len Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Ken Mayer, Norman Jolly, Bela Kovach, and Tony Sides. Dick Dufeld speaking. This week's Space Patrol was brought to you by Nestle's Ever-Ready, the instant cocoa, Nestle's Quick for great chocolate milk, and famous Nestle's chocolate bars. This program is broadcast for Armed Forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC's Radio Network.